Chapter 1054. Li Fan doesn't understand Wang Luo's intention, but he still followed this person back to China. No matter what, Wang Luo has been helping him all this while. There is no doubt about this. Li Fan followed Wang Luo and set off from Phoenix King's Yellow Springs Road all the way to Yungue region. This place belongs to the Golden Triangle, the world of drug dealers. Even the devil incarnate, Wang Tofu, is unable to set up his own smuggling route in this place. This area is filled with all sorts of gangs, and there are also many countries and organizations supporting them. It is not that easy to conquer the Golden Triangle. In this chaotic dark area, Wang Luo and Li Fan sit in a jeep and travel through the forest. Who are we going to meet? After sitting in the car for a long time, Li Fan still can't help but ask. Young people really don't have any patience. The current Wang Luo has aged a lot and looks like an old man with one foot in the grave. He curls up into a ball at the back of the jeep as if he is in deep sleep, but because of his mental power, he is able to stay awake. You follow me. Do you think I will sell you out? I am just a bit bored, so I asked. Li Fan mutters. Bro, who are you talking to? The driver smokes as he drives. Suddenly hearing Li Fan talking to himself, he can't help but ask. Li Fan doesn't know how to explain. It seems like Wang Luo doesn't even have the strength to speak and is using his mental power to talk to Li Fan. Not far from here is the Dragon King Temple. The driver feels a bit awkward as he points to the bushes in front and says, "It has been abandoned for many years, but occasionally there will still be people going in to pay their respects. After all, we used to believe in the Dragon King and believe that the Dragon King will bless everyone with a smooth journey. After all, there are quite a lot of people running around here, you know." The driver is very straightforward, so Li Fan knows what he is referring to. Just stop in front. Hearing Wang Luo's reminder, Li Fan opens his mouth to tell the driver. Brother, there's a group of vicious people here. You have to be careful. To be honest, if you don't ask me to stop, I wouldn't dare to move forward. Let's meet again. The driver instructed Li Fan and then left both of them on the side of the road. Do you want me to carry you? Li Fan couldn't help but ask as he looked at Wang Luo, who was wobbling as she walked and almost had to use a walking stick to move forward. I'm not that old yet. Wang Luo rolled his eyes at Li Fan. Save some of your strength, or else you won't be able to escape later. Escape? Of course. This time, we're going to meet a very scary guy. Wang Luo reminded Li Fan, this time, it's a huge gamble. I hope I can win. Gambling. Li Fan didn't know who Wang Luo wanted to see, but since he was already here, he would follow him to the end. Wang Luo, this person, always schemed very deeply. No one knew what he was thinking about all day. This old guy is simply an old fox. Just as Li Fan was thinking, Wang Luo's eyes lit up. A huge rock suddenly flew up and headed towards Li Fan. Li Fan didn't even raise his head. Mr. Yang, who was standing beside him, extended his hand and used his spiritual power to control this huge rock. The huge rock stopped a meter away from Li Fan. Li Fan waved his hand and used his true chi to crush the rock. No need to test me. Li Fan said, I didn't train for this month for nothing. That's good. Wang Luo was secretly surprised. To actually use another spiritual body as a part of his strength to protect himself, this is really scary. Sure enough, choosing Li Fan was the right choice, but it was also very risky. Would he be able to win this gamble or not? Wang Luo brought Li Fan and walked towards the dilapidated Dragon King Temple. However, just as they got closer, Wang Luo suddenly stopped and took a step back. A bullet landed in front of his feet, and at the same time, a warning voice flew out. Step back, this is not a place you should be. A row of people stood up from the grass. Each of them was armed with loaded guns. They seemed to be a group of drug dealers. "I'm sorry, everyone," Li Fan said, "I have something to do. Can you let me pass?" "Bullshit. Don't you understand what I'm saying?" A man who was smoking heard Li Fan's words and immediately became angry. "It seems like you don't want to live anymore. Kill them. In this place, killing people is just a daily occurrence." Two drug dealers raised their pistols and aimed at Li Fan. Li Fan waved his hand, and the two of them immediately aimed their pistols at their companions. "What are you doing? Stop!" Before the smoking brother could react, his two underlings had already shot many of his companions, leaving him alone. The two of them pointed their pistols at his head at the same time. This made the drug dealer, who was used to big scenes, feel a little scared. Who are these two people? He couldn't understand. Could they be from another gang? Why haven't I seen them before? And these two underlings of his had climbed out of a storm of bullets together. They were friends who had gone through life and death together. When did they become traitors? Forget it, Li Fan. Let him live. Wang Luo finally spoke. "Just let him scram a little further away. We are here to find that person." That person. The cigarette in the brother's mouth fell to the ground. He hurriedly begged for mercy. Sirs, I had eyes but failed to recognize Mount Tai. I offended the wrong person. Please let the three of us go." Scram. Li Fan couldn't be bothered to kill them. He waved his hand and the remaining three drug dealers ran away. "Let's go in." Wang Luo walked to the entrance of the Dragon King Temple. This old temple door creaked open by itself. Immediately, a fishy and damp smell came out from inside. Li Fan followed and walked in. He realized that the Dragon King Temple was already broken beyond recognition. The head of the Dragon King statue that was placed in front had already fallen off. Only half of the body was still standing there. It was unknown if it could still shelter this area from the wind and rain. After Wang Luo walked in, a figure appeared beside the Dragon King statue out of nowhere and bowed to Wang Luo. "I didn't know that sirs had arrived. Please forgive me for not going out to welcome you. Let's not talk nonsense. Bring me to see that sirs." Wang Luo's words made Li Fan suddenly understand. "Wait." He grabbed Wang Luo's collar and asked, "You brought me to see Sirs Liao? Oh, so you know him." Wang Luo laughed. "It was Wang Jian who told you, right? He really has a big mouth. Why did you bring me to see him?" Li Fan asked. Chapter 1055. I did not bring you here to see him, I brought you here to kill him. Wang Luo communicated with Li Fan using his spiritual power, not caring if others heard it. This person is still alive, sooner or later he will come to kill you. So, you must kill him. Wang Luo is very ruthless, so, this matter must be resolved. Is that person very strong? Why are you not willing to mention his name? Because I also do not know what his name is. Wang Luo shrugs his shoulders, everyone calls him that lord. The reason why I know his surname is Liao, is because he has a daughter with the surname Liao outside. Is he very strong? Of course he is. Wang Luo does not hesitate. After all, in the whole of China, the only person I cannot defeat is him. Since you cannot defeat him, why are you here? Li Fan looks outside the door. We can still make it if we leave now. Why, are you afraid? What is there to be afraid of? But I do not want to fight for no reason. You do not need to do anything, this is my matter, I will deal with it myself. Wang Luo tells Li Fan, in the past, I had to leave some leeway, but today, I can risk my life. Li Fan looks at Wang Luo's aging body, not knowing how much more he can risk his life. But no matter what, since he is already at this Lord Liao's place, he might as well take a look. He is also very curious about this so-called Lord Liao. Just follow me closely. Wang Luo follows that Lord Liao's subordinate and opens the secret passage. The Dragon King statue slowly moves, revealing a big hole below. Li Fan follows Wang Luo, takes a torch from the wall and holds it in his hand. Without this torch, Li Fan can still see in the night. But Wang Luo cannot. His body is no different from an old man, holding the wall, slowly moving forward in the dim light. In the light, Li Fan feels that Wang Luo's back is getting older, as if he will die at any moment. This old man, can he still hold on until he sees the so-called Lord Liao? This tunnel is very deep, not knowing where it leads to. The three of them walked for more than 10 minutes and finally arrived in front of a majestic underground palace. When Li Fan first saw the secret church, he was shocked. It was truly a magnificent building. However, it paled in comparison to the underground palace in front of him. This underground palace was so majestic that Li Fan thought he was looking at the Forbidden City. This underground palace could not have been built by modern people. After all, it had left traces of history and time on it. It should be an underground tomb that belonged to some emperor in the underworld. No matter who slept here in the past, it had now become a place for someone else. However, shouldn't this kind of place be full of traps? Could it be that they have all been broken by someone? Let's go, this place is very safe. Wang Luo seemed to have seen through Li Fan's speculation and comforted him. Understood. Since it was a place for that person to stay, it should be a more comfortable place. But living in such a palace, did he really think of himself as an emperor? This way. The man continued to lead them through the long path towards a hall in the distance. In this palace, there were many guards dressed in black and red armor. They seemed to be the guards patrolling the city. Li Fan couldn't help but sigh. This man seems to be living like an emperor. I wonder if there are 3,000 beauties in his harem. If there are 3,000, this kind of life is worth looking forward to. Esteemed guests, we are just in front. The man leading the way extended his hand and in front of them was the majestic hall. In ancient times, this place should belong to the Hall of Proclamation, a place for officials to attend court. Li Fan and Wang Luo walked in. The moment they entered, there was a long path in front of them. Every piece of the ground was paved with jade. It was luxurious. In front of them was a flight of steps that the 9 dragons climbed up. At the top was a golden dragon throne. A man with disheveled hair and a skinny body sat on the dragon throne. His skeleton-like hands rested on the dragon head armrest. This person's hair was white, and he seemed to be no different from Wang Luo. He was also a person with half a foot in the ground. After the man led them in, he knelt down in front of the old man on the dragon throne. Your Majesty, they are here. The man snorted. This person who was addressed as Your Majesty should be Liao Wushuang's father. How old was he when he gave birth to Liao Wushuang? Why is he so old when Liao Wushuang is only 20 years old? This is somewhat incomprehensible. You may leave. The other party didn't even raise his head as he spoke. Yes, Your Majesty. The man retreated, leaving behind Li Fan and Wang Luo. Old friend, it has been over 50 years since we last met. Why do you look so old? Wang Luo greeted him. How much better are you? Lord Liao sneered, furthermore, we are not friends. I don't need friends. Don't be so heartless. Wang Luo slowly pulled out his sword. At least before you die, there will be a friend to mourn you. Who did you bring over? Because under Wang Luo's request, Li Fan had used alien bone swap to change his figure and appearance, Lord Liao did not recognize him. Is it your successor? The next generation sword. The other party did not seem to take Wang Luo's threat to heart. That's right. Before I leave, I have to do something good for China. Wang Luo said, getting rid of you should be considered a great merit. I will not die. The other party said slowly. His voice was filled with power. As long as I obtain Li Fan, I will become the strongest person. Li Fan did not say anything by the side. When he heard this, his attention was aroused. Obtain me. What does this mean? Was this old man also a psychopath? Does he want something to happen between us? Li Fan subconsciously raised his true qi and stared at the old man on the dragon throne with vigilance. Friend, you are dreaming. It is a pity that I can't let you have your wish. Wang Luo held his sword. If I let you out, I'm afraid the entire China will never have a day of peace. Today, I will kill you here. 50 years ago, you lost to me. 50 years later, you are still not my opponent. Emperor Liao sneered, since you are rushing to die, for the sake of our past relationship, I will personally send you to die. Why are you in such a hurry? Wang Luo sat down on the jade floor. Since I am going to die anyway, why don't we talk about your story? You want to hear my story? Emperor Liao laughed, that's fine. Anyway, you can't escape from my palm. Chapter 1056. You want to hear my story? The Liao Emperor looks at Wang Luo who is sitting in front of him and his masked disciple who is standing beside him. He does not seem to place the two of them in his eyes. Never mind, although this underground palace is big, there are very few people that I can chat with. Since you guys are going to die soon, I will be magnanimous and let you guys be ghosts that understand everything before you go on your way. Thank you very much. Seems like this is Wang Luo's goal as he asks, how about we start with your name? There is no harm in telling you guys. My surname is Liao and my name is Zhu. I am the descendant of the Liao Emperor. This world originally belongs to me. The reason why I practice martial arts is to first unify the pugilistic world, then China and revive the imperial power of my great Liao. What should we do now? It is already a modern society where we talk about race and human rights. We do not care about the emperor at all. What modern society? What race? What human rights? Liao Zhu sneers, it is simply a group of ignorant people messing around. Although I do not go to the surface, I know what kind of world it is now. Chaos, darkness, about to usher in a terrifying destruction. Could it be that unifying China and becoming the emperor can save all of this? Of course. Liao Zhu confirms this without hesitation, I am the strongest emperor. In order to become even more powerful, I even abandoned my own family. Supreme forgetfulness, this is the highest realm of martial arts. An emperor that does not recognize even his own family. To be honest, if such a person were to rule me, I would definitely not be able to take it. Wang Luo curls his lips. That is why I said you guys are just ignorant people. Liao Zhu sneers, you people will never understand the power of a king. Speaking of which, a few days ago I met a person who thought that he was a god. He was the same as you, extremely arrogant, but I killed him with my own hands. You are talking about the demon from Demon Island. Liao Zhu's words shocked Li Fan. How did this guy know about this from staying in the underground palace? Looks like his source of information is also very powerful. Li Fan cannot help but look at this emperor who is sitting on the dragon throne with his head lowered. What ability does he have? No matter how ambitious you are, I'm afraid you won't be able to live for long with such a body, right? Wang Luo continued to ask, could it be for the sake of your daughter's empire? I don't have a daughter like that. She doesn't look like a princess of the great Liao kingdom. Liao Ju sneered. There was no affection in his voice at all. She doesn't deserve to inherit my family business. My empire must be guarded by myself. Then your body, this is why I need Li Fan. He has the aberration bone transformation technique, and he also has a portion of Great Liao's bloodline. Li Fan was stunned. Did he have some Liao blood in him? How were they supposed to study this thing? This country had long been destroyed, so where would they go to study bloodlines? You're really good at finding. Could it be that you've already researched soul transfer? The soul is just a form of mental energy. As a martial arts master, Liao Ju had some understanding of mind power. Not long ago, I caught a mutant and discovered the concept of spiritual power from him. You really did it? Wang Luo couldn't help but ask. Of course. I buried myself in a grave for 3 days and 3 nights. Finally, I broke through the realm of mental energy. Liao Ju said proudly, although my body is no longer good, as long as I find a suitable body and use some methods, I can transfer my mental energy to it. In our words, it's called possession. As long as I continue to transfer my mental energy, I will be immortal. Even Imperial concubine Zhou couldn't do this. Looking at Liao Ju's crazy smile, Li Fan finally understood why Wang Luo risked his life to bring him here. The reason why he brought him here was to understand the truth of the matter together. If he were to ask himself, he probably wouldn't be able to tell Li Fan the truth of the matter and the most terrifying enemy. Alright, that's enough. You guys should be on your way. Liao Ju said arrogantly, it's your honor that I will personally send you guys on your way. That's enough. Wang Luo nodded his head and slowly stood up. If that's the case, it's my honor to be able to fight with the martial arts emperor in my last moments. Oh. You want to fight with me with such a crippled body? Liao Ju laughed, even in this state, I can still easily destroy you. With that, Liao Ju raised his hand and slapped across the air. Rumble. The wind from the palm brushed past Wang Luo's body and blew onto the wall outside, causing the 9-dragon wall to collapse. Wang Luo stood slightly to the right as he held the Shangfang sword in his hand with a smile on his face. Liao Ju, you are indeed powerful. Your power has even surpassed that of a grandmaster, hasn't it? I have the power of 100 dragons. I am a legendary sage expert. Liao Ju's words made Li Fan feel despair. It wasn't easy for him to step into the realm of a grandmaster, but above his head, there was actually a legendary martial saint. That's right, that's right. A sage is so scary. Wang Luo nodded his head, but with this body, you can only use 80% of your strength, right? Maybe even lower. How about 50%? Heh, it's 60%. Liao Ju told them straightforwardly, even 60% is enough to kill you all easily. Some things, if you don't try, how will you know? Wang Luo seemed to have suddenly regained his strength. He threw away his walking stick and slowly walked towards Liao Ju with his Shangfang sword. With every step he took, he seemed to be a year younger. When he walked in front of Liao Ju, Wang Luo had already stood up straight. His hair had also returned to black, as if he had turned back into a 20-year-old youth. Come, Emperor of Wulin, fight with my Shangfang sword. Wang Luo's voice was bright and he didn't look old at all. Li Fan was a little surprised. Is Wang Luo alright? Was he pretending to be old all along? That's not right. Li Fan could feel that Wang Luo was really weak just a while ago. He was probably having a terminal lucidity and had completely overdrawn his last bit of life force to use at this moment. Young man, watch carefully, how I fight with Liao Ju. As Wang Luo spoke, he leaped towards Liao Ju. Courting death. When Liao Ju saw that Wang Luo still dared to provoke him, he raised his palm and slapped towards Wang Luo. Wang Luo raised his Shangfang sword and placed it in front of him. He also used his mental power to protect his body, but his body was still sent flying more than 10 meters away. Both of his feet kept sliding on the ground. Finally, he hit a pillar and stabilized his body. Chapter 1057. Wang Luo's physical body was so strong that even Li Fan could not hurt him. But after taking Liao Ju's palm, he vomited blood. As expected of the martial arts emperor. The power of that palm is indeed strong. Wang Luo wiped the corner of his mouth, but I have the life of a cockroach. I will not die so easily. With that, Wang Luo carried the Shangfang sword and descended from the pillar. With a flick of his feet, he suddenly disappeared and quickly approached Liao Ju. The sword in his hand kept stabbing towards Liao Ju. But Liao Ju just sat there. With just a finger, he kept blocking Wang Luo's sword attacks. In front of Liao Ju, it was as if an expert like Wang Luo was just a child who was being played around by Liao Ju. No matter how hard Wang Luo tried, he was unable to break through Liao Ju's defense. No, you are too weak. Liao Ju sneered, your strength seems to have not improved compared to 50 years ago. That might not be the case. Wang Luo suddenly took a few steps back and then raised his Shangfang sword. This Shangfang sword was forged by 49 necromancers back then. I have heard of some rumors about this Shangfang sword. Liao Ju sneered, but what can an ancient sword do? With just a bit of mental power, you can connect with this sword. Wang Luo said, the sword has the mark of the inheritors. Do you want to see it? I don't like people who talk big. Liao Ju stretched out a finger and pointed at Wang Luo, you can die now. A stream of vital energy exploded from his finger, and in an instant, a bloody hole the width of a finger appeared on Wang Luo's chest, who was more than 10 meters away. Wang Luo vomited another mouthful of blood. He stabilized his legs and stood there. In my name, I will guard China. Kill the gods above, kill the ghosts below. Wang Luo stabbed the Shangfang sword into his abdomen. Return sword. Without waiting for Li Fan to be shocked, a golden light enveloped Wang Luo's body. It was as if a small sun had appeared in the underground palace. In an instant, Li Fan and Liao Ju's eyes went black. When the golden light dissipated, Wang Luo was standing there with a head of golden hair. He wore a black and gold coat and held the Shangfang sword in his hand. The appearance of the Shangfang sword had also changed. It was originally 3 feet long, but now it was close to 2 meters. Wang Luo dragged it on the ground. After so many years, this is the first time I've used the returning sword state. Wang Luo said proudly, this is probably the last time I make a grand entrance. Liao Ju, let's have the second round. With that, Wang Luo instantly appeared in front of Liao Ju and slashed down with the golden longsword in her hand. Liao Ju immediately tried to block it, but Wang Luo's sword was even faster. It pierced Liao Ju's glabella. Liao Ju immediately stretched out his other hand and grabbed the sword with his palm. Your Majesty, you can't either. After using sword return, Wang Luo's strength seemed to have increased tremendously. His battle with Liao Ju had also become much easier. There were several times when he managed to break through Liao Ju's defense and slashed his body with his long sword. Although Liao Ju's body had aged, his true qi was still covering his body like a coat, protecting his body. Wang Luo slashed a few times but only managed to injure Liao Ju's flesh. The two of them were currently at an abnormal level. Even a grandmaster like Li Fan wouldn't dare to rashly intervene. Otherwise, he would be the one who would be in a miserable state. He understood the reason why Wang Luo called him over. It was to let him watch all of this, to see Liao Ju's moves, to familiarize himself with his battle techniques and then understand his terrifying strength. In case he suddenly met Liao Ju in the future and died without knowing why. After Li Fan thought it through, he continued to watch the two of them fight seriously. After fighting for a while, the difference in strength between the two of them started to appear. Wang Luo's returning sword still had a time limit. In addition, his body's condition was getting worse and worse. He was slowly falling into a disadvantageous position. Monarch Fist. Liao Ju seemed to have grasped the opportunity. He sat there and punched Wang Luo. The terrifying fist aura seemed to have compressed the entire space. The entire underground palace started to tremble. With a rumble, the palace at the back was flattened by the terrifying fist aura. Wang Luo fell onto the ground in a sorry state. His body was full of injuries and his black and gold coat was torn. Kid, the rest is up to you. Liao Ju's fist aura could destroy the world. This was his ultimate technique. Let's leave this place. Wang Luo threw the sword to Li Fan. As long as this sword is still here, the Shangfang sword will still protect China. Wang Luo's voice moved Li Fan a bit. However, Liao Ju sneered. Do you really think that you can run away? I know that you can't leave this seat now. Wang Luo kept looking at the few tubes that were inserted behind Liao Ju. The tubes were supplying him with nutrients to maintain his body. As long as I stop you, he will be able to survive. With the current you, can you do it? Liao Ju laughed. My fist aura has a range of 1,000 meters. As long as I attack, he will have nowhere to hide. Don't look down on me. Wang Luo stood there. Liao Ju, I can still fight with you for another 300 rounds. You don't even have a sword. How are you going to fight with me? Liao Ju activated his true qi and cracks started to appear on the floor, spreading out like a spider web. Li Fan held the Shangfang sword as he stood at the entrance of the palace hesitating. Stop hesitating. Hurry up and leave. Wang Luo shouted at Li Fan, don't let my blood flow for nothing. With that, he pushed his hand at Li Fan. A huge mental power charged at Li Fan and pushed him out. Where are you going? Liao Ju charged at Li Fan and threw out a monarch fist. Even if it was Li Fan, he would not be able to escape 1,000 meters in a split second. But Wang Luo roared as he stretched out both of his hands. The surrounding jade stones kept on exploding as more and more jade stones flew over and gathered in front of Wang Luo. Very quickly, they formed a gigantic jade sword that was 100 meters long. Wang Luo controlled it to hang above Liao Ju's head and slash down. Such a gigantic sword seemed to be able to split the heaven and earth. But Liao Ju just sat there as he changed the direction of his fist and punched above his head. Boom! The gigantic jade sword was smashed into pieces by Liao Ju's monarch fist and scattered around. Wang Luo half knelt in front of Liao Ju as he continuously coughed out blood. He started to age quickly and his life force was quickly flowing away. Success, Liao Ju. Wang Luo blinked his eyes at Liao Ju. Li Fan, he has already left. He is Li Fan. Liao Ju immediately stood up from his throne and looked at Wang Luo angrily. Damn that Shangfang sword, I will kill you. He is the Shangfang sword. Under Liao Ju's fist, Wang Luo closed his eyes in relief. Chapter 1058. Li Fan held on to the Shangfang sword and quickly escaped from the underground palace. Liao Ju was too powerful now and he couldn't win with his own strength. There was no need for him to die for nothing. The Shangfang sword in his hand slowly returned to its original state. Li Fan used his qigong to the extreme. He hoped that Wang Luo could survive. At this moment, a loud roar came from the Hall of Proclamation behind him. The entire underground palace shook again. Li Fan knew that something must have happened to Wang Luo. He could vaguely hear a roar in his ear. It seemed like Wang Luo was talking to him. Live well and become the Shangfang sword, Li Fan. You can't escape. A loud roar echoed in the underground palace. It was Liao Ju's angry roar. Everyone, kill the intruder. This angry roar caused the guards around the underground palace to move. These guards held on to their spears and started attacking Li Fan. Li Fan held on to the Shangfang sword and quickly counterattacked. Although these guards were powerful and had almost reached the peak of strength, they were clearly not Li Fan's match. In order to not waste time, Li Fan summoned the Flying Lion Goddess Fusion. He wore the Flying Lion armor and waved the Shangfang sword in an attempt to kill a guard that jumped over. The guard's spear was like a rock spreading its wings. It slashed down towards Li Fan's head. Li Fan wanted to stab the guard's throat. But for some reason, the Shangfang sword was extremely heavy. When Li Fan lifted it, the sword sank and he stabbed the guard's chest instead. The guard was wearing red armor and seemed to have high defense. The sword that could cut through metal like mud in Wang Luo's hands could only create a spark on the guard's chest in Li Fan's hands. Damn it, Li Fan could feel that the Shangfang sword was still resisting him. He carried the Shangfang sword on his back, and at the same time, he struck the unprotected throat of the guard with the head of the white crane. The guard clutched his throat and took 2 steps back. Li Fan caught up and threw out a dragon-spitting pearl, slapping the guard's abdomen. The rotating energy bead directly tore apart the guard's armor, then pierced through the guard's abdomen, and exploded out from his back. Phew! The guard spat out a mouthful of blood as his body spun and flew out, crashing into the distance. Even more guards were running towards Li Fan. He immediately summoned the Great War God. The Great War God spread out its arms and condensed a powerful true qi in its hands. 7 Brilliance, Absolute Kill, 10 Direction Wisdom King. The Great War God waved his arms and a huge wave of true qi rushed out, shattering the space in front of him. The guards were shaken so badly that they fell to the ground, unconscious. Li Fan took the opportunity to quickly escape. His figure left a series of afterimages in the air as he ran towards the entrance of the underground palace. At this time, 2 guards were closing the entrance of the underground palace. This heavy stone door was 30 meters tall and 1 meter thick. It would be very difficult to break it with ordinary attacks. If the door was closed, Li Fan might be trapped in the underground palace. Fortunately, the entrance of the underground palace was heavy. Even with the help of the mechanism, the 2 guards had to close the door bit by bit. I can only go up. Li Fan jumped and quickly approached the door. But at this time, Li Fan suddenly had a bad feeling. He almost subconsciously stepped on the ground to stabilize his body. Shwa! A black crescent wave swept down and slashed the ground in front of Li Fan, leaving a deep ravine. A woman wearing a black Imperial Secret Service coat stood there, holding a black long blade in her hand. Seeing her, Li Fan was stunned. Yushi! Why is it you? Li Fan, you shouldn't have come here. Yushi looked a little sad as she looked at Li Fan. A gloomy wind blew in the underground palace, lifting Yushi's coat. Yushi, are you also Liao Ju's man? Li Fan seemed to understand something. Sorry, you are his vessel, so you must live. Yushi revealed her real purpose. And now, you must stay. If I want to leave, no one can stop me. Li Fan was a little hurt, but he quickly calmed down. He did have feelings for Yushi, but this was not the first time he was betrayed by a woman. Liao Wushuang had a precedent, and this time, Li Fan adapted much faster. It seems that I have been childish. Yushi, thank you for teaching me a lesson. As Li Fan spoke, he gathered his true chi, and the golden armor on his body began to shine. No matter what, I must keep you here. This is all for His Majesty. Liao Ju had just ascended to the throne in the underground palace a few days ago. He is the hope of all of us. Yushi swung her black saber. You are no match for me. Li Fan looked at the slowly closing door. He had no time to hesitate. See you next time. With a flash, Li Fan flew toward the door. You can't escape. Yushi suddenly took off her blindfold. Her eyes that should have been blind now shone with a red light. The black radiance covered Yushi's body, as if she was wearing a black coat. Ghost God Slash. Without any hesitation, Yushi unleashed a black energy saber. This astral saber was no longer in the shape of a crescent. Instead, it took the shape of an evil spirit and pounced at Li Fan. True chi mimicry was slightly weaker than materialization, but it was still not to be underestimated. Sensing danger behind him, Li Fan quickly turned around and saw the huge black evil spirit. Dragon Spitting Pearl. Li Fan turned around and threw out a ball of chi beads towards the evil spirit. The chi ball tore a huge hole in the evil spirit's abdomen. However, the evil spirit was not affected at all. It continued to pounce on Li Fan and pounced on him. Li Fan felt as if thousands of swords had pierced through his body. If not for the protection of the flying lion armor, he would have been torn into pieces. Golden red sparks kept appearing on the flying lion armor, and Li Fan was also blown away. He flipped in the air and landed on the ground. He spat out a mouthful of blood and steadied himself. Yushi stood there with a black evil spirit behind her, glaring at him. This move was very similar to his great god of war. Materialization of true chi, Li Fan frowned. He could not help but feel shocked when he saw Yushi's red eye. I've known you for so long, but I didn't expect you to be hiding such power. This is the power that His Majesty sealed. Because using this power will shorten my lifespan. His Majesty said that if I use it for a long time, I probably won't live past 40. Yushi's words made Li Fan's heart jump. Won't live past 40. There's actually such a terrifying technique. Chapter 1059. Li Fan has been training for a long time, but this is the first time he has heard of this kind of inner force. Then it's better if you don't use it. Li Fan advised. I've already used it once. Yushi smiled calmly. When you don't know. After saying that, Yushi held the black saber and swung it at Li Fan again. The evil spirit behind her also held a huge black saber and slashed towards Li Fan. This black saber was at least 10 meters long. Li Fan hurriedly used an iron bridge and lay back, dodging the saber. Swish! The two dragon pillars behind were directly cut into two pieces and fell to the ground, raising a cloud of dust. The true chi manifestation technique is actually a martial art passed down from ancient times. Yushi held the black saber and walked towards Li Fan step by step. This is called the martial god true body, which is actually more advanced than the Dragon Hall's chi condensation. Back then, the genius Lu Jinchan wholeheartedly wanted to restore the ancient martial god true body, but unfortunately, he failed and only managed to study the superficial chi condensation. As for you, Li Fan, I didn't expect you to accidentally study the martial god true body. Li Fan thought of his great war god and thought to himself, this is the martial god true body. Unfortunately, it's not mature enough. I'll let you see the real martial god true body. As Yushi spoke, the huge evil spirit behind her slowly became clear and transformed into a ghost warrior condensed from black true chi. The ghost warrior held the black saber and directly used the saber drawing technique to swing it horizontally at Li Fan. Humph! The great war god behind Li Fan popped out again. He was no longer as indistinct as before, but now looked like Li Fan. This great war god was wearing the flying lion armor, holding the holy sword in his left hand and the lion face shield in his right. Facing Yushi's move, the great war god raised the lion face shield and blocked in front of Li Fan. Clang! The lion face shield exploded into a shockwave, and Li Fan was even forced to take a step back from the impact. She's really powerful. Li Fan couldn't help but be surprised by Yushi's strength. Practicing martial arts is like rowing a boat against the current. You should take it step by step. However, Li Fan still couldn't help but remind her, it's not worth it for you to use the power you shouldn't have and shorten your lifespan. That's none of your business. As Yushi spoke, she controlled the ghost warrior to grab the huge black blade with both hands and slash it down towards Li Fan. The black blade descended from the sky, and the great god of war raised his lion face shield to block the attack. Clang! The black saber landed heavily on the lion face shield. The lion face shield was pressed down on the great god of war's head. After Yushi activated the martial god mode, her strength increased tremendously. She had the strength of at least 15 dragons, which was not inferior to Li Fan's strength. Unless Li Fan used his unparalleled posture and let his true energy explode in his body. Li Fan glanced at the door that was about to close. He no longer had time to hesitate. Yushi, I'm sorry. I can't stay here. As Li Fan spoke, a strong force suddenly erupted from his body. But in that short moment, all of the true energy on Li Fan's body was absorbed into his body. All the pores on his body closed, and in that instant, the great god of war disappeared as well. After all, the great god of war was formed from true energy. Once the pores were closed and the true energy was not allowed to flow out, the great god of war would naturally not be able to condense. If you don't use the martial god, how are you going to fight against me? Yushi controlled the ghost warrior to swing her long blade horizontally towards Li Fan. The black blade had already arrived in front of Li Fan. As for Li Fan, his skin was scarlet red, and a circle of true energy condensed into a light wheel appeared behind him. He stretched out a hand and pinched the black saber. Clang! With a crisp sound, the black blade was blocked and stopped there, unable to hurt Li Fan. Goodbye, Yushi. Li Fan waved his hand and cut off his sleeve. From today onwards, you and I are no longer friends. Yushi saw the look in Li Fan's eyes. It was a kind of cold look. For some reason, Yushi's heart fiercely jumped. Goodbye. Li Fan took a step back, leaving an afterimage behind. He instantly left the underground palace and escaped through the small gap left by the door. Where's Li Fan? Liao Ju's voice transmission sounded in Yushi's ears. She sighed, retracted her martial god true body, put on a blindfold, and used her qigong to return to the announcement hall and knelt in front of Liao Ju. Your Majesty, please forgive me, forget it. Liao Ju forgave Yushi. Anyway, it's not time yet. There's no harm in training him a little more. But Your Majesty, he already knows about us. Will it be detrimental to the plan? My plan is foolproof. Liao Ju was full of confidence. Are you doubting my judgment? Yushi. I don't dare. Yushi hurriedly lowered her head and apologized. Just continue with what you're doing. Liao Ju ordered. As for Li Fan, you don't have to worry about him. Yes, Your Majesty. Yushi stood up and left, while Liao Ju sat on the dragon throne, stepping on ahead. Wang Luo, is this the path you chose? He let out a cold laugh. Unfortunately, no matter what method you use, you won't be able to stop my resurrection. Really, Liao Ju? At this moment, Wang Luo's head suddenly opened its eyes and spoke. Mental energy. Liao Ju was not surprised and immediately understood. Interesting, you really like to surprise me. However, this little bit of mental energy will dissipate soon. Before I die, I still have some use for it. Wang Luo was only left with a head, but he was still laughing. As long as that Bradley fan continues to grow, he will defeat you sooner or later. Stupid. You are too arrogant. Endless nightmare. Wang Luo's head suddenly jumped up and his eyes met Liao Ju's gaze. He used the last bit of his life force to hypnotize Liao Ju. Liao Ju saw that the surrounding was filled with evil spirits walking towards him and pulling his body with all their might, as if they wanted to drag him into hell. It's just a little bit of mental energy, yet you still want to cause trouble. Liao Ju sneered, since that's the case, I shall play with you. He closed his eyes and endured the nightmare that Wang Luo brought him. At this moment, Li Fan had already escaped outside. He used his qigong all the way back to Ji University without stopping to rest. By the time he returned, the sky was already dark and the dormitory doors were all closed. Li Fan couldn't jump back through the window, so he could only wander around the field of Ji University. Liao Ju, this brat's strength is too terrifying. How am I going to deal with a martial sage expert? He looked at the Shangfang sword in his hand and felt that he should make use of this sword. Wang Luo's return sword had stunned Li Fan. A person who only had mental energy and only a sword was able to contend against Liao Ju. This was truly amazing. However, what he should be thinking about now should be where he should go to sleep. Li Fan didn't bring a single cent with him, so he couldn't go to a hotel to sleep. Just as he was worrying, a familiar girl's voice came from behind him. Junior, why are you here? Chapter 1060. Senior Sister. Li Fan turned around and saw Lu Wan with her hair in a bun, dressed in sportswear, standing on the playground, looking at him. Why are you here? Lu Wan let her hair down and looked at Li Fan tenderly. I heard that you took a long leave from school and went abroad with Shinqin. Is Shinqin back? Li Fan asked quickly. She's back. Lu Wan looked at Li Fan strangely. You didn't know? Well, I separated from her when I was abroad. Quarreled again. That's not it. Where is she now? She's busy looking for a new agency. Lu Wan smiled. She was terminated by her previous agency. The media reported that she didn't go to school and had a boyfriend. At present, her popularity is a bit low and it's not easy for her to survive. So, Li Fan roughly understood what was going on. It must be about her family. This time in Europe, Shinqin's last value was squeezed out and then kicked away by the company. Not only that, in order to not leave a way out for Shinqin, they deliberately created all kinds of negative public opinion in an attempt to suppress Shinqin. This Shin family was really too much. They did not even leave a way out for their adopted daughter. Why did you come back so late? Lu Wan stretched out her hand and gently brushed the dust off Li Fan's shoulder. Look at you, how did you end up in such a mess? I came back as a refugee. You're talking nonsense again. These days when you were away, the club has been maintained well. Lu Wan reported to Li Fan. I have to say that your Lin Yuhsan is indeed a talent in management. Usually, when practicing martial arts, everyone has made some progress with the Jiang sisters' guidance. That's good. Li Fan was now a little unable to care about the club's affairs. At present, he was under a lot of pressure. I've decided to let the sisters take care of the club's affairs. Li Fan thought for a moment. I have a martial arts hall to run, and I have to continue to train my strength. After going to university, I don't seem to have time to go into seclusion anymore. Li Fan felt that his university life was a bit miserable. It seemed that it had to end before it even started. Just go to class as usual. Lu Wanner looked at Li Fan. Do you feel that there isn't enough time? You can apply for a day student. What does that mean? Li Fan felt that the gentle senior seemed to have a way. Well, I can still finish my homework if I'm a day student. Lu Wanner explained, as long as you have enough credits every semester, it will be fine. Generally speaking, schools do not allow students to be day students. However, I can help you apply for it. It should be settled. Senior sister is so powerful. Li Fan was a little surprised. Lu Wanner actually had so much power in school. It's alright. I can still help you with this. Lu Wanner laughed, so when you need me, you can rely on me. I will try my best. Well, but how can you go back to the dormitory if you come back so late? Lu Wanner looked at Li Fan. If I hadn't happened to run at night and bumped into you, I'm afraid you could only sleep on the playground. I can also go out and live in a hotel. Your sportswear doesn't even have pockets. How can you live in a hotel? Lu Wanner looked at the extraordinary sword hanging on Li Fan's waist and the Shangfang sword on his back. Are you going to rob a bank with these two guys? Li Fan was indeed short of money now. He felt that he shouldn't go back to City G. He should directly go back to City A with Qin Gong. However, City G was a little closer. If he went back to City A with Qin Gong, he was afraid that he would be exhausted. You seem to be quite tired. How about this, you stay at my place tonight? Lu Wanner provided a place for Li Fan to stay. As the saying goes, one night and one meal. Lu Wanner had already stayed for 2 nights. It's not good to sleep with senior sister twice. What do you mean by sleeping with me twice? Lu Wanner, with her self-restraint, couldn't help punching Li Fan lightly. Don't talk nonsense. I made a mistake casually. Li Fan was very embarrassed. How could he accidentally say what was on his mind? Don't do it again. Let's go. Lu Wanner wiped the sweat on her forehead. I'm also sweaty after running. It stinks. I need to go back and take a bath. I want to take a bath, too. Li Fan hadn't rested for a day and a night. He was busy rushing on the road, so he was extremely dirty. Not together. Lu Wanner immediately emphasized. Senior sister, when did I say together? You said it this time. Li Fan couldn't help laughing. Lu Wanner blushed. She couldn't help reaching out and secretly pinching Li Fan's thigh. Li Fan felt very wronged. He obviously didn't have that intention this time. Lu Wanner no longer talked to Li Fan. She seemed to be a little angry as she walked along the path of the school toward the apartment building. Oh right. Lu Wanner, who was walking in front, suddenly stopped. Li Fan almost bumped into her back. What's wrong? Li Fan was taken aback. At the same time, he felt a little regretful. I suddenly remembered that there's a sex maniac roaming around the school recently. Lu Wanner reminded Li Fan, I heard he's running around the school. When he sees a female student, he takes off his pants. It's very disgusting. You have to be careful, junior brother. I'm a guy. Why should I be afraid of him? Li Fan couldn't help but roll his eyes. Do you think he can have sex with me? I can't rule out that possibility. Lu Wanner nodded very seriously. Li Fan broke out in a cold sweat. Let me tell you. I know a brother named Huang Lei. He's not here. If he's here, he can cut off that guy's dick. Li Fan couldn't help but think of Lei. This kind of person should be dealt with by Lei. You're so dirty. You're dirtier. It doesn't matter. I'm older than you. I can talk about some adult things. Lu Wanner winked at Li Fan. How can you be like this? Li Fan was speechless. At this time, a rustling sound came from the nearby bushes. Then, a figure appeared from behind the tree. He directly rushed toward Lu Wanner and pulled down his pants, revealing his crotch. Lu Wanner screamed and immediately hid behind Li Fan. Fuck, you can't talk about people in the day, but you can't talk about ghosts at night. Li Fan laughed angrily. You came just in time. I'll cut off your dick. Boy, your luck with women is not shallow. The perverted man pulled up his pants and pulled out a butterfly knife. He waved it in his hand. If you don't want to die, get out of my way. Let me have some fun with that girl, hee hee hee. Senior sister, you see, your beauty has made him commit crimes. Li Fan turned his head and winked at Lu Wanner. Chapter 1061. If that's the case, then get out of my way. Seeing him put on his pants, Lu Wanner immediately felt relieved and said, let me do it. Hee hee, you see how smart and proactive this girl is. You should learn from her. The perverted man immediately smiled, very satisfied with Lu Wanner's attitude. Come, this grandpa will love you tenderly. Seeing Lu Wanner walking toward him, the perverted man happily smiled. Lu Wanner also gave him a smile, then stretched out her hand and gently placed it on the perverted man's shoulder. Just as the perverted man licked his lips, Lu Wanner suddenly tightened her fingers. Ouch! The perverted man screamed as a sharp pain came from his shoulder. Lu Wanner pinched his acupuncture point and at the same time, kicked his crotch with her leg. The perverted man screamed again and again while Lu Wanner clapped her hands. Okay, clean up. Should we call the police? Too troublesome. Lu Wanner shook her head. Moreover, calling the police is too easy on him. He should receive a more severe punishment. Ah, senior sister, what do you want to do? How about this? 10 minutes later, a man wearing only underwear was hung on the school building. On his body were several big words, perverted exhibitionist. Okay, this will do. Lu Wanner looked at her work with satisfaction. Li Fan stood at the side with cold sweat on his forehead. This usually gentle senior sister is too scary at this moment. If I want to punish someone in the future, I can ask senior sister to help me think of a way. Let's go back. Lu Wanner then left with Li Fan. The two of them returned to the student dormitory. I feel much better after taking a bath. Lu Wanner walked out of the bathroom with a bath towel wrapped around her hair, wearing loose home clothes, and a body full of fragrance. She stood in front of Li Fan and stretched her waist. So comfortable. Looking at Lu Wanner's beautiful figure, Li Fan couldn't control his desire. At this time, a man's sexual desire is the easiest to overcome his reason. In Li Fan's mind, there is only one thought, push her down. Damn it, Li Fan, Li Fan, what are you thinking? Li Fan hurriedly and secretly pinched his thigh to sober up a little. I still have to thank you, junior brother. Lu Wanner took a bottle of my dong and walked over. She sat beside Li Fan and handed the bottle to him. If it weren't for you, I would have definitely been taken advantage of if I had encountered such a pervert. Girls should learn some self-defense skills. Li Fan turned on the pulse. Especially ancient martial arts. It's not like they'll let girls train until they're all muscles. Thinking of Murong Ying's beautiful figure, Li Fan couldn't help but feel nostalgic. Sometimes, he really wanted to see Murong Ying in a cheongsam standing in front of him again. Tai Zhu was busy cooking for them in the kitchen. And Murong was sitting on the sofa next to him, watching a Korean TV series episode by episode. Unfortunately, the two of them had an ill-fated relationship. Perhaps they would never return to that time. People must look forward. Li Fan took out the Shangfang sword and the extraordinary sword and placed them on the table next to him. Are these your weapons? Lu Wanner walked past Li Fan's body. She was practically lying on Li Fan's body, observing the two different weapons. This one seems to be an antique. It's a bit old. Lu Wanner was very interested in antiques. She was lying there with her buttocks raised. Because she had just taken a shower, Lu Wanner was wearing a comfortable shirt on her upper body and a short skirt on her lower body. Her hair also had the delicate fragrance of shampoo. It mischievously entered Li Fan's nose, evoking his feelings. This sword is at least from before the Ming dynasty. Lu Wanner carefully examined the sword. She was too confident in Li Fan that she had forgotten that this kind of ambiguous posture was a challenge to a man's bottom line. Why do you have such an antique? You seem to have taken good care of it. Lu Wanner seemed to want to pick it up to take a look, but this Shangfang sword was incomparably heavy. Lu Wanner was not paying attention and directly laid on top of Li Fan's body. That soft chest was pressing on Li Fan's wrist, causing his heart to beat faster. This is really a terrifying challenge. Li Fan forced himself to maintain his rationality. He did not want to lose to the terrifying desire. Two little people appeared in front of Li Fan. One had wings, and the other had a tail. Push her down. The little devil urged Li Fan. In any case, there is no one else here. This is a great opportunity. Don't forget to wear a condom. The little angel reminded himself. Li Fan felt that he was already hopeless. His hand could touch the space under Lu Wanner's skirt at any time. That place must be mysterious and soft. I am sorry. Li Fan adjusted his state of mind and wanted to extricate himself from Lu Wanner's body. However, Lu Wanner directly flipped over and laid comfortably in Li Fan's embrace. I didn't expect that your embrace would be so comfortable. Lu Wanner laid on top of Li Fan's body and looked at her junior, who was somewhat dumbfounded. Why? Do you really want to chase me away from this position? And no. You are nervous. Lu Wanner looked at Li Fan and smiled warmly. It was unknown why she was smiling. You little girl, who are you calling lass? I am your senior. You brat who doesn't know manners. Lu Wanner stretched out her hand and tried to grab Li Fan's nose. Hey, how can you pinch your nose? Don't you often pinch Jiang Yuanyuan's nose? She is younger than me. You are also younger than me. As she spoke, Lu Wanner continued to pinch Li Fan's nose. This little girl really doesn't want to admit defeat. Senior sister, what the hell do you want? I am just tired. I want to find someone to lean on for a while. Lu Wanner comfortably leaned on Li Fan with a somewhat satisfied expression. Li Fan felt that she was especially like a contented kitten. Well, your embrace is indeed very comfortable. Although I can't lean on it often, I can use it temporarily. I am not a sofa. What do you mean by use? It is originally just for use. Lu Wanner emphasized, boys are originally tools to be used. Tools. Yes, because men can't be trusted and can only be used as tools, which is much safer. Lu Wanner spoke from the bottom of her heart. Girls are better, they won't hurt you. Hey, if you think that way, it is easy to become a lesbian, right? What's wrong with being a lesbian? Isn't it still very happy? As long as you are happy, it is fine. Lu Wanner muttered, my current principle is to enjoy myself while I am happy, then you can enjoy yourself while you are with me. Li Fan had another crooked idea in his mind. Chapter 1062. At such a close distance, Lu Wanner's temperature and body fragrance were clearly transmitted to Li Fan's sensory world, stimulating his heartbeat. This Lu Wanner was simply a little devil. She was usually so gentle, but at this moment, she was so charming and attractive. Even though Li Fan had seen all kinds of big scenes, he was the kind of person who walked among flowers without being touched by a single leaf. But under this kind of pressure from Lu Wanner, he kind of wanted to give in. Lu Wanner. This woman was a bit awesome. Even Li Fan began to admire Lu Wanner, which showed how awesome she was. Especially when he heard that Lu Wanner wanted to be a lesbian, the first thought in Li Fan's mind was to let Lu Wanner know what a man's strengths and weaknesses were. To fill a woman's big hole, only a man could do it. No, it was too vulgar to call it a big hole. It should be called a gap. A man could fill a woman's gap, that was right. Li Fan was thinking whether he should fill Lu Wanner's gap or not. This seems to be a matter of merit. Forget it, I'm not a person who cultivates merit. Let's put this matter aside for now. What are you thinking about? Looking at Li Fan, Lu Wanner suddenly asked. I'll give you 10 yuan to buy your idea. Is my idea worth 10 yuan? Li Fan did not know whether to laugh or cry. It's already very affordable. This is a friendship price. Lu Wanner rolled her eyes. How much do you want? How about 5 yuan? If you give me 250 yuan, my death will be worth it. In your dreams, I won't. Lu Wanner refused Li Fan's request. Li Fan sighed. It seems that Lu Wanner is getting more and more awesome. This girl will be awesome in the future. Senior sister, you are so smart and cunning, how about helping me manage the martial arts club? Li Fan had some ideas, so he took the opportunity to ask. Li Fan. Actually, there is one thing. Lu Wanner had been hesitating about whether or not she should tell Li Fan that she was going abroad. She pondered for a long time and decided not to tell Li Fan. If I tell Li Fan, what if he starts to drift away from me? I better not tell him. For now, I'll just go with what he wants. Even Lu Wanner didn't know that Li Fan had become so important in her heart at some point in time. Anyway, I don't know what to do when I'm interning. Lu Wanner readily agreed. It's good to help you. Thank you, senior sister. Li Fan was happy. Lu Wanner was so smart, gentle, and meticulous. If she could help him, she would definitely be a great help. But, you're hugging a beautiful girl, but all you're thinking about is work. Then senior sister, what should I think about? Li Fan asked subconsciously. How would I know? Lu Wanner laughed. Why don't junior brother tell me what you should be thinking about? And then I'll say what I think. Senior sister won't be angry with me, right? Li Fan suddenly asked. How could that be? Senior sister really wants to know. Li Fan felt that he couldn't win against Lu Wanner. Thinking about it carefully, none of the girls he knew were easy to deal with. Each and every one of them had a sharp tongue, but his mouth was the stupidest. I'm going to take a bath. Li Fan felt that it was better to escape as soon as possible. If this continued, he couldn't guarantee that he wouldn't make a mistake. I'll let you go. Lu Wanner's words made Li Fan finally relieved. He knew that this woman was torturing him. Thank you, senior sister. Li Fan cupped his hands toward Lu Wanner. This student is very grateful. I'm willing to compensate with my body. Come on. Lu Wanner looked at Li Fan provocatively. What do you really want to do? Do you dare? Li Fan didn't say anything and obediently went to take a bath. After several days of tiredness and dust, Li Fan washed his body properly, washing away the fatigue on his body. Li Fan stood under the shower, enjoying the hot water. He also had time to quietly digest the recent events. Demon Island, Magic Association, Shangfang Sword, Liao Ju. And the betrayal of Yu Shi. In less than a month, the changes were too great. Li Fan was a little emotional. If he had a choice, he would still want to return to the past. He would rather Yu Shi was still a blackguard of the Imperial Secret Service, silently guarding him. Yu Shi had once said that she liked him. Was that a lie as well? Li Fan couldn't help but laugh at himself. It seemed that he was always being deceived by women. It seemed that he had to be more careful when dealing with women in the future. He shook his head and dispelled some useless thoughts. Then he wiped his body clean and walked to the outer compartment. There was a clean white martial arts uniform in the basket beside him. This was the uniform that Lu Warner had prepared for him. It was the uniform of the society. It was a white pure cotton uniform. It was loose and comfortable, with the Martial Arts Society's logo printed on it. On the back of the uniform was a picture of a tyrant subduing a tiger. This was specially added by Lu Warner based on Li Fan's tattoo. After all, it was the iconic tattoo of the little tyrant. Li Fan put on the martial arts uniform. Lu Warner was standing in the living room, seemingly busy with something. "Senior, what are you doing?" Li Fan looked at Lu Warner's hot figure. Even the ordinary home clothes could not hide her slim and beautiful figure. "Don't you have class tomorrow?" "Second year is much easier." Lu Warner smiled sweetly. "Besides, how could a junior who often skips class have the nerve to ask me?" Li Fan wanted to cry a little. This girl was starting to mock him again. "Senior, you're a senior after all. Why are you teasing me like this?" "How am I teasing you?" Lu Warner refused to admit it. "I'm encouraging you to improve. You should be thanking me." "Thank you for your encouragement. I'm so touched that my eyes are brimming with tears." Li Fan was helpless. "Then I'll leave you to your work. I'm going to sleep." Needless to say, he would still have to sleep on the sofa. "Are you in a hurry to sleep?" Lu Warner took out 2 cocktails that she had mixed herself. "Let's have a drink and chat." "Aw." Li Fan was stunned for a moment. Lu Warner actually wanted to drink with him. "Aren't you afraid of getting drunk?" "How could I get drunk if I get drunk?" Lu Warner corrected Li Fan. "It should be said that alcohol is an aphrodisiac. Just a little bit will make you tipsy, but it will increase your courage." "Then senior, are you trying to increase your courage?" "No, I'm trying to increase your courage." Lu Warner winked at Li Fan, causing Li Fan to blush. "Senior, if you keep testing me like this, I won't be able to bear it." Chapter 1063. What kind of test is this? Lu Warner charmingly laughed. "Later when you start working, you will find that there are more tests." She looked at Li Fan and suddenly asked, "Do you want to try it?" Try what?" Li Fan froze for a moment. "Let's see if you can withstand a real test, how about it?" Lu Warner said, slightly licked her lips, and then walked toward Li Fan with a glass of wine. "Senior sister. What do you want?" "If I am your female boss and I want to do the unspoken rules with you, what would you do?" Wear a condom." Li Fan very seriously replied. Lu Warner was so angry that she rolled her eyes. "What nonsense are you talking about? I am testing you, not asking you how to cooperate with me. I am your female boss, I want to do the unspoken rules with you. With such a beautiful female boss like you wanting to do the unspoken rules with me, I am more than happy." Li Fan mischievously smiled. "Remember to be gentle." "Humph, I can see that you are not firm at all." Lu Warner fiercely glared at Li Fan. "You should find a woman to ruthlessly punish you." This is difficult. Li Fan spread out his hands. I don't even know if I can find a suitable woman to marry in the future. Your temper is really difficult. Lu Wan carefully looked at Li Fan. How about I teach you how to properly treat a girl? Do I still need to teach you? Li Fan was a little strange. Could it be that the way I treated girls before was wrong? Wrong, a big mistake. Lu Wan bluntly said, you are not gentle to girls at all. Hey, is that so? Li Fan was very puzzled. I have never been fierce to girls. You see, like you, Xin Qin, Jiang Yuan, I regard you as good friends. This is the most annoying part about you. Wrong, all wrong. Lu Wan emphasized, between boys and girls. There is no such thing as pure friendship. Ha! Li Fan was stunned for a moment. That makes sense. Of course. Lu Wanner did not have the slightest bit of doubt towards her own point of view. Those who use the pure friendship between a man and a woman to talk about it are just deceiving themselves while stealing a bell. Li Fan felt that what Lu Wan said was quite right. The fact that you're close to these girls means one thing in itself. You like them and you want to be close to them. I don't think so. Alright, let me give you an example. Lu Wanner stretched out a finger. Suppose one day, Lin Yuhsin, or I, have a new boyfriend. Every day, we accompany our boyfriends, being lovey-dovey with each other. Are you happy? Lu Wanner's words stunned Li Fan for a moment. He really didn't know how to answer this question. It would be a lie to say that he didn't mind. If he said that he cared, wouldn't that be admitting that he liked those girls? After Li Fan hesitated for a moment, he suddenly felt that he was being a little petty. Wang Luo and Muronging both said that it was difficult for him to achieve great things with his state of mind. Li Fan felt that this was his weakness. Li Fan suddenly realized something. He immediately cut off his pretense and bluntly said, that's right. I like these girls, and I also like you, senior sister. Li Fan kept on answering. Lu Wanner, who originally wanted to continue to tease him, didn't know what to say. This is my instinct as a man. I don't want to refute it. Li Fan became direct. I will probably leave China in the future and live on an island. If you can accept it, you can come live with me on the island. You're so greedy. Lu Wanner couldn't help but scold Li Fan. This is not greed. This is facing my heart. Li Fan sat on the sofa. Holding a glass of wine, he smiled. At that moment, Lu Wanner felt that Li Fan seemed to have changed a lot. He seemed to have matured a lot. Obviously, the things he said to a woman were so unforgivable. Lu Wanner felt that she was also very cheap. Many men said sweet words to her and doted on her, but she was dismissive. And this Li Fan was bad. He didn't have her in his heart, but she wanted to be close to him. People really wanted what they didn't have. But Lu Wanner didn't know how to change this. Liking someone was very hard to change. Just like her ex-boyfriend. Even if he was fickle once, Lu Wanner still forgave him. Until he couldn't be saved, and even married another woman, she finally completely gave up. And Li Fan's charm was obviously stronger than him. Li Fan was able to let it go, but Lu Wanner was not so easy to let it go. Lu Wanner, enjoy yourself. She said to herself in her heart. Senior sister, what are you thinking about? Don't you think I'm bad? Li Fan asked with a smile. Yes, you're too bad. Lu Wanner said without hesitation, I'm bad. I don't think I'm bad. Li Fan frankly said, is it wrong for me to like girls? I just like them, but I didn't do anything to them. Yes, you didn't do anything, but... Lu Wanner hesitated, it's because of your inaction. That many girls were hurt. I can't not do anything. Li Fan pondered for a moment, then senior sister, what do you think I should do to make them happy? As the saying goes, it's better to get the pain over with. You should choose someone you like. Lu Wanner immediately said, it's because you don't have a woman you like. That's why you give them unnecessary hope, making them reluctant to leave you. If this goes on, it won't be good for anyone. Let's talk about it on that day. Li Fan indifferently shrugged his shoulders, when the boat comes to the bridgehead, it'll straighten out. AI, you're like this. It's not good. Lu Wanner sighed. What's the matter, senior sister? Do you want to be my girlfriend? Li Fan asked with a smile. Hey, even if you're a junior brother, it's rude of you to ask like this. Lu Wanner reminded Li Fan. Senior sister is also not doing anything. Li Fan winked at Lu Wanner, making Lu Wanner speechless. Just a moment ago, she had the upper hand, but now it was Li Fan who had the upper hand. Okay. Let's not talk anymore, go to sleep. Lu Wanner admitted defeat. Then good night, senior sister. Li Fan was about to sleep when suddenly there was a sound of a key being turned outside the door. Lu Wanner's face immediately turned pale, and she pulled Li Fan. Quick, go to my room. Chapter 1064. Aw. Li Fan also heard the movement outside. He subconsciously turned his head to look at the door. Hurry up, it's Shin Chen. Shin Chen is Shin Chen, what are you afraid of? Before he finished speaking, he was dragged upstairs by Lu Wanner. If Shin Chen sees you spending the night with me, it's over. She'll definitely misunderstand. Lu Wanner was very nervous, as if the two of them were really having an affair. Hurry up. Otherwise, I'll hate you. Lu Wanner saw that Li Fan did not want to move and stomped her feet in anger. Okay, I'll go upstairs. Li Fan had no choice but to obediently go upstairs and was stuffed into his room by Lu Wanner. Wanner, you're not asleep yet. Lu Wanner had just stuffed Li Fan into the room when Shin Chen's voice came from downstairs. Shin Chen, why are you back? Lu Wanner rushed downstairs and said. There's nothing to be busy these days. You know, I've been unemployed recently. Shin Chen laughed self-deprecatingly, those people have no taste and don't like me. I can't do anything about it. Don't be discouraged. Lu Wanner advised, this is not like you, Shin Chen. And, I'll look again. Shin Chen nodded, but I can study at school in peace. This is also a benefit. And, you must be tired. Take a shower and go to sleep. Lu Wanner was worried about Li Fan and she could not deal with Shin Chen. And, then I'll go take a shower. Shin Chen nodded and turned to the bathroom. Lu Wanner was relieved and walked into the room. She saw Li Fan sitting on a chair, bored to death, fiddling with a picture album. Lu Wanner's face immediately turned red. It was a photo she had taken in the past. There were a lot of very revealing photos. I didn't expect you to be so wild in the past. Li Fan pointed to a photo of a sexy wild cat. Lu Wanner was wearing a Catwoman's leather jacket and pants. There was even a cat tail on the pants. It was very realistic. If one didn't know better, they would really think that Lu Wanner was a cat demon. I know how you put your cat ears on, but how did you put your cat tail on? Li Fan felt a little strange. Give it to me. Lu Wanner snatched the photo album from Li Fan's hand. Who let you look at it, hateful? It's quite pretty. What's there to be shy about? Li Fan couldn't help but laugh. But you didn't seem to be very obedient before. There are a lot of photos of you wearing a motorcycle suit. Who hasn't had a few years of brain damage? Lu Wanner angrily looked at Li Fan. You're being very rude. What's wrong? Did our gentle senior sister mess around before? Humph. Lu Wanner pouted and looked at Li Fan with dissatisfaction. You like to investigate people's pasts so much. Do you want to become a police officer? Police work doesn't suit me. Li Fan thought of the Shangfang sword. Maybe I will try to become a profession that is more mysterious than being a police officer. Humph. Lu Wanner was obviously not happy that Li Fan saw the photos that she didn't want others to know about. She was angry with him tonight, more than all the previous times combined. Don't tell me you don't have any shameful past. I really don't. Li Fan proudly said, I have always been open and aboveboard. There's nothing shameful about it. Oh. Really? Lu Wanner laughed. I think that Murong's relationship with you is not ordinary. When you and Murong were in love, didn't you two do anything wrong to your fiancé? Cough cough, Li Fan dryly coughed twice. He thought that this Lu Wanner should be a detective. She can even solve a case like this. She's really awesome. What's wrong? Not talking anymore. Lu Wanner raised her eyebrows and looked at Li Fan. The weather tonight is not bad. It's cloudy. What's so good about it? Lu Wanner rolled her eyes at Li Fan. Didn't you just say that you're magnanimous? I just made some mistakes that all men make. Che, you men always say that. Let's not talk about this. Why don't we sit down and look at the photos? It can improve our relationship. Go to hell. You can sleep on the floor. Lu Wanner pointed at the floor and then added, I'll help you lay a blanket. I won't let you catch a cold. Senior sister is still quite gentle. Li Fan looked at Lu Wanner, who was lying on the floor with her buttocks raised. In order to resist his desire, he changed the topic and asked, how did you learn bad things in the past? How can this be called bad things? Lu Wanner emphasized, I was just rebellious for a while. At that time when I was living in America, I met a group of bikers and hung out with them for a while. It's hard to imagine. It's really inconceivable. Li Fan was a little surprised. Senior sister could hang out with the bikers. Take a look at this. Lu Wanner took out a photo. In it, she was wearing a black gothic motorcycle suit, riding on a handsome Harley-Davidson motorcycle. Beside her was a blonde man with a nose ring and earrings hugging her. Li Fan was speechless for a long time. What's wrong with you? Is this your boyfriend? Nonsense, this is my bestie. Lu Wanner pointed at him and said, he's gay. And I was also gay at that time. Huh? What huh? This fully proves that my choice at that time was right. Lu Wanner gently poked Li Fan's forehead with her finger. Go to sleep, dishonest man. If I'm not honest, I'll push you down. Li Fan retorted. Yes, yes, yes. You're good. Lu Wanner stretched out her hand and helped Li Fan to remove the hair on the corner of his mouth. This gentle action, the focused gaze, and the snow-white skin revealed by the collar, could not help but attract Li Fan. This woman, the lethality of every frown and smile, was too great. All right, how could you be so careless and touch something? Lu Wanner clapped her hands, go to sleep. You're not allowed to attack me at night. I'll try my best. Li Fan winked at Lu Wanner. I'll beat you up. Lu Wanner waved her small fist. Just as the two of them were about to sleep, there was a sudden knock on the door. Lu Wanner was shocked, but her next action was simply beyond human. She clamped her legs and directly clamped Li Fan, who was lying on the floor, and threw him and the blanket onto her bed. Then, Lu Wanner quickly covered Li Fan with her blanket. At the same time, she sat on the bed and threw a few big dolls onto the bed. "I knew you haven't slept yet." Shin Chen walked in with only a towel wrapped around her, just in time. "I wanted to have a heart-to-heart talk with you." Chapter 1065. This is not very convenient. Seeing Shin Chen walk in with a towel wrapped around her, Lu Wanner was so nervous that she quickly covered herself with the blanket. "What's not convenient? Didn't you not sleep?" Shin Chen spoke while wiping her hair. She still had the scent of shower gel on her body, making Lu Wanner feel very embarrassed. Hiding Li Fan under the blanket, if this matter was discovered, she would not be able to show her face in school in the future. "I have a lot on my mind recently, so I came to talk to you. You won't find me annoying, right?" "How could I?" Lu Wanner quickly shook her head. I'm just a little sleepy." "Strange, I've never seen you sleep so early before." Shin Chen was a little puzzled, then asked half-jokingly, "Don't tell me you're hiding a man under the blanket. Let me see." "What are you doing?" Lu Wanner was so nervous that she stopped Shin Chen in a panic. Shin Chen was careless, and the towel on her upper body slipped down, revealing the wonderful content underneath. You should pay attention." Lu Wanner quickly pulled the towel over Shin Chen. "You're a girl, how can you be so careless? Don't you usually see everything? Why are you so shy today?" Shin Chen could not help but laugh. "Is there someone in your heart?" What nonsense are you talking about? You only know how to tease me." Lu Wanner tried to suppress her panic. "It's not easy to come back. Why don't you take a good rest and go back to sleep?" Hey, if you chase me away like this, I should really suspect that you're hiding a man." Shin Chen pouted discontentedly. "I'm not happy, so I want to talk to you." "It's my fault, I'm too sleepy." Lu Wanner gently patted her cheek. "Okay, I'm refreshed, let's talk." "Well, that's more like it." Shin Chen nodded with satisfaction, leaning on Lu Wanner. "I'm a little tired recently." "Really?" Listening to Shin Chen's tired voice, Lu Wanner felt a little distressed, but Li Fan, who was covered under the blanket, was a little anxious. "Fuck, it's the middle of the night, what's there to talk about?" It was really hot and stuffy here. Li Fan could only temporarily use the tortoise breathing technique to forcibly suppress his desire to breathe and wait for the two of them to finish talking. A girl's chat should be quick, after all, it's already so late. Li Fan felt an itch in his hand. He moved slightly and touched something soft. He couldn't help but pinch it. It felt really good. Lu Wanner, who was sitting there, suddenly exclaimed. "Ah! What happened?" Shin Chen was startled and hurriedly asked. "No, nothing, I just remembered that I left my water heater on. When did we turn off the water heater?" Shin Chen felt a little strange. "Recently, we've been promoting environmental protection." Lu Wanner quickly made up an excuse. "It's okay. I'm going to take a shower tomorrow morning anyway." Shin Chen held Lu Wanner's hands. "Recently, I've been a little depressed." Lu Wanner endured the strange hands on her buttocks as she forced a smile. "And, you can continue." Shin Chen complained to Lu Wanner about the recent matters. These few days, she had been looking for a new management company, but none of them were willing to sign her. In this case, it wouldn't take long for Shin Chen to fade out of everyone's sight. "Why don't we not be a star?" Lu Wanner asked. "We can do some other jobs." She suggested. "Your image is not bad, being a flight attendant is not bad." "Flight attendant? This lady disdains to serve others." Shin Chen curled her lips. "No way. Otherwise, do you still want to be a princess?" Lu Wanner couldn't help but mutter, look at the time, you're still not willing to give up. Of course I can't give up. Shin Chen emphasized, I can't just admit defeat like this. Without the help of my family, I can't do it myself. For the first time, Shin Chen was so determined, I want to prove that I'm not their puppet. If you put it that way, I should support you. Lu Wanner thought for a moment. She had already begun to ignore Li Fan's lecherous hands. This guy. Taking advantage of the situation, I'll deal with him later. Ah. Where is his hand reaching? That's not good. Lu Wanner's face suddenly turned red. Shin Chen asked, Wanner, what's wrong? No, nothing. It's a little hot. Lu Wanner gently clamped her legs, maybe the room is a little hot. Really, such a hot day, turn on the air conditioner. Shin Chen picked up the remote control and turned on the air conditioner. But Lu Wanner's body became even hotter. Her face was faintly emitting heat. Are you sick? Shin Chen asked. No. Lu Wanner shook her head and then sat down hard, pressing down Li Fan's disturbing hands. Let's continue talking about your matters. I'm preparing. I'm going to help you open a management company. Ha. Shin Chen was a little surprised. You actually want to open a management company? Yes. Lu Wanner seemed to have recovered a little, but her face was still a little red. In order to let you recover as soon as possible, this is the only way. But, will your family agree? Don't you only have 2 years left? So, you have to hurry. Lu Wanner said in her heart, I'm not asking you to hurry, you bastardly fan. Will it work? Shin Chen was a little doubtful. It will work. Lu Wanner nodded. Before I returned to China, I helped my family run a company. What I lack now is a little startup capital. I intend to borrow some. Borrow from who? Zhanghua. Ah. Lu Wanner screamed again. I don't want that bastard's help. Shin Chen shook his head without hesitation, let him go to hell. Then who else can I borrow from? Lu Wanner was worried. From Li Fan. Ah. Him. Lu Wanner was a little surprised. Yes, that's him. Shin Chen nodded desperately, don't look down on him, he's very rich. That seems to be earned by him through hard work. As long as our company is run well, he can still make money. Shin Chen said, it's not like we're swindling his money, what's there to be afraid of? That's true. Now that your voice has recovered, if the album sells well, we can indeed make money. Lu Wanner nodded, that's indeed a way to make money. Yes, you see, I'm so good, if there's money, it's all earned by everyone. Hee. Looking at Shin Chen's proud look, Lu Wanner laughed along with her. Alright, then let's stop talking here. It's too late, I won't disturb your sleep, let's continue talking tomorrow. Chapter 1066. Shin Chen finally left. Lu Wanner quickly stood up, lifted the quilt, and straddled Li Fan's body, her hands clutching Li Fan's neck. You bastard, you dare to disrespect me. I'll kill you. How did I disrespect you? Li Fan pretended to be stupid, my hands were a little itchy just now, so I casually moved. Did I touch anything, dear senior sister? You definitely did it on purpose. Lu Wanner's eyes were a little tearful. I haven't been touched by anyone. Then I did touch you, what about it? Li Fan grabbed Lu Wanner, pulled her into his arms, and pressed her against his chest. Lu Wanner was now lying on Li Fan's body, with her legs spread apart, lying on Li Fan's body in an extremely ambiguous position. Her body softened, feeling that she had no strength at all, and could only feel Li Fan's strong heartbeat. Li Fan, Li Fan. Li Fan did not speak at all. He hugged Lu Wanner, and directly kissed her mouth. Lu Wanner had just been heartbroken not long ago, and Li Fan took the opportunity to fill the gap in her heart. This kiss of his had melted Lu Wanner's heart. Enjoy yourself, in any case, the life I want in the future is not the life I want, why not these 2 years, just be happy with him. These 2 years, please be good to me. No matter how many women Li Fan liked, she only had 2 years anyway. At this moment, Lu Wanner was ready to throw caution to the wind. Li Fan did not understand what she meant, but he was now like a clockwork machine, uncontrollably ready to start. As he kissed Lu Wanner, he stretched out his hands, displaying a man's ability to do 2 things at the same time, constantly wandering around Lu Wanner's body. Lu Wanner's body became hotter and hotter. After all, Shen Chen was still in the next room. The more she thought about it, the more excited she became. The 2 of them rolled around on the bed, and the foreplay gradually entered the main scene. After all, it was Lu Wanner's first time, and it was Li Fan's second time. Therefore, he was very patient and slowly stroked Lu Wanner, letting her relax. When Li Fan slowly entered Lu Wanner, she bit her lips and hugged Li Fan tightly. Both of them had tasted the forbidden fruit for the first time, and they soon became addicted. The 2 of them fought from the bed to the floor, beside the window, in front of the computer table, and even made Lu Wanner lie on the wall between her and Shen Chen's room, engaging in an exciting and intense 2-person exercise. He didn't rest for the entire night. When she got up the next day, Lu Wanner could not get out of bed. Li Fan covered her with the quilt. Looking at her beautiful and tired face, Li Fan couldn't help but reach out and gently touch her cheek. Lu Wanner softly snorted, then slightly opened her eyes. She used one hand to block the sunlight from the side. That lazy look made Li Fan want to go wild and have another round. Don't, Lu Wanner reached out and gently pushed Li Fan away, it hurts. My throat is dry. I want to drink water, okay, I'll go get some water for you. Li Fan lovingly touched Lu Wanner's head, senior sister, wait for me. He went to the side to pour a glass of water for Lu Wanner, then walked over to help Lu Wanner up and feed her water. Don't, Lu Wanner softly whined, I want you to feed me, okay, Li Fan couldn't do anything about her. He drank a mouthful of water and then fed it to Lu Wanner. Lu Wanner seemed to enjoy it very much. After drinking the water, she comfortably closed her eyes and lay on the bed, like a kitten. It was said that women were like cats and men were like dogs. It seemed like that was really the case. You don't have class today? I want to sleep in, Lu Wanner nodded, you go to class by yourself, okay, then go to sleep. Li Fan couldn't wash up here. The bathroom was downstairs and Shen Chen was still there. Go ahead and wash up, Lu Wanner reminded Li Fan, Shen Chen won't wake up until noon. There's a new toothbrush in the bathroom cabinet. Just use my toiletries. They're all gray. The pink one is Shen Chen's. Don't use it wrongly. Got it. Li Fan then went out with a peace of mind and tiptoed to the bathroom downstairs. As Lu Wanner said, Shen Chen was still sleeping. The living room was quiet and there was no movement at all. Li Fan breathed a sigh of relief. He began to wash his face and brush his teeth. The towel still had Lu Wanner's fragrance on it. It smelled very comfortable. Wanner. You're up so early. Do you have class today? Shen Chen's voice suddenly came from outside the door. Li Fan was shocked. Fuck, how did this woman wake up? Didn't she say that she wouldn't get up until noon? Li Fan quickly closed the bathroom door and locked it. Warner. Shin Chen tugged at the door, but it didn't budge. Warner. Why did you lock the door? What are you doing? Shin Chen's voice kept ringing outside. I got up early to talk to you about the agency. Open the door. Shin Chen kept banging on the door. Li Fan couldn't do anything about it. He finished washing up and opened the door. Shin Chen happened to bump into Li Fan. At this time, Shin Chen was only wearing a black camisole and lace panties, revealing a pair of long legs. Moreover, she was not wearing any underwear. Under the camisole, 2 points were faintly protruding, which was very eye-catching. Ah! Shin Chen let out a scream. Why are you here? Warner asked me to come. Li Fan took a good look at her. She said it was to discuss the agency. He admired himself for being able to make up such an awesome excuse. He was really a talent. Li Fan really wanted to kowtow to himself in front of the mirror, but he held back. Now was not the time to be arrogant. He had to be low-key. Oh, right. Shin Chen suddenly realized, it seems like that's what happened. Yeah, I just went to the bathroom and heard you banging on the door. It scared me. Li Fan pretended to be scared. I even held back my urine. Come on, how can you be scared? What kind of person are you, Li Fan? Shin Chen knew Li Fan's strength like the back of her hand. Ha! Li Fan was a little surprised. According to what Wang Luo told him on the boat, he should have brainwashed Shin Chen. The brainwashing this time should make Shin Chen forget what happened in London. This was also a kind of protection for her. But how could she still remember? This was impossible. Are you wondering why I still remember? Shin Chen suddenly laughed, which made Li Fan a little flustered. He was flustered, mainly because he was worried that Shin Chen would find out that he had been looking at her exposed spots. This girl, it seemed like she didn't remember, that she was wearing so little. Because... Shin Chen cried out in surprise again. Chapter 1067. Shin Chen screamed again. Li Fan retracted his gaze. What are you doing? Pervert. Shin Chen seemed to have finally come to her senses and remembered the unique clothes she was wearing. After she screamed, she wanted to slap Li Fan. But what kind of person was Li Fan? How could he take this? He took a step back and dodged Shin Chen's hand. But at this moment, the bucket next to him suddenly flew up and hit Li Fan's head, but he caught it in his hand. Ha! Li Fan felt a little strange. Was this telekinesis? You see, this is the situation. Shin Chen wrapped the bath towel around her body and said, now as long as I get emotional, this will happen. Telekinesis. I don't know. Anyway, I felt that I forgot something in my mind last time. After a headache, I remembered this thing. Is that so? Li Fan thought for a moment. It seemed that when the devil left Shin Chen, he left a part of his power in her body. Li Fan only hoped that the power he left behind was not too much, so as not to affect Shin Chen too much. When you're emotionally calm, will there be telekinesis? Li Fan asked. No, it's usually very quiet. Shin Chen shook her head, no different from an ordinary person. Don't think too much. You're an ordinary person. Li Fan hurriedly said. It's just a slightly abnormal power, don't take it to heart. If I don't take this kind of thing to heart, then how big of a heart do I have? Anyway. Just keep your emotions calm. This is the most difficult thing for me. Shin Chen was particularly unhappy. Okay, Miss Shin, aren't we here to talk about the agency? Li Fan glanced upstairs. After I arrived, I found that found that senior sister hasn't woken up yet. I guess she'll sleep until noon. I'll come back at noon. She didn't get up early. Shin Chen didn't think much about it. She probably didn't believe that her best friend would sleep with Li Fan. She probably didn't sleep well last night because I was chatting with her. She looked at the time. It's still early. I'm going to take a nap. Come back at noon. All right. Li Fan heaved a sigh of relief. He was finally fooled. See you at noon. Be careful. Got it. Shin Chen was a little impatient. Why aren't you leaving yet? Are you waiting to sleep with me? Can I? Fine my ass. Let's go. Li Fan laughed heartily as he walked out. It was quite interesting to tease Shin Chen. It was rare for Li Fan to come to class, so there was quite a commotion in the Chinese department. Looking at the campus celebrity sitting in the classroom, holding a textbook and listening attentively, the surrounding students said all sorts of things. This is Li Fan. He's quite handsome. He is Li Fan. He looks a little ordinary, not even as good as me. The surrounding students were whispering about Li Fan. This was an English class. Liao Wuxuang stood on the podium and looked at Li Fan with an indifferent gaze. In public, Liao Wuxuang had always behaved normally so as not to cause unnecessary influence. "Io, second brother, you're finally in class," Wang Yang said with a face full of emotion. "I read your fortune yesterday and it bodes ill for you. I was scared. I'm relieved to be able to see you today. I told you I'm fine. When has your fortune ever been accurate?" Zhao Yingjun muttered at the side, "I asked you to read when I could find a partner, but you never got it right." "Fuck, how is it not accurate?" Wang Yang immediately ridiculed, "You read when Lu Wan will like you. Didn't I tell you? It's impossible. Is there a need to read it?" Wang Ying, who was listening at the side, said venomously, "Look at him, who would like him? Not only is he stupid, but his brain is also not good." Zhao Yingjun seemed to be speechless. That, stupid and brain are not good, shouldn't they mean the same thing? Wang Yang lowered his voice and asked Li Fan. "Well, she probably said it wrong." Li Fan analyzed, "I think what she wants to say is that she's ugly and her brain isn't working well." Wang Yang nodded again and again, seemingly reaching an agreement. "Ha! Isn't that Lu Wan her? Why is she here?" Zhao Yingjun suddenly saw a student sneaking in from the door and was surprised. "Oh my god! Could it be that she discovered her love for me and came to see me?" "You think too much." Wang Yang glared at him and then looked at Lu Wan. Is senior sister's foot broken? Why is she limping?" Li Fan couldn't help but want to cough. Li Fan. When Zhao Yingjun wanted to say hello to Lu Wan, she had already sat next to Li Fan and put a breakfast in Li Fan's arms. "I remember, you probably haven't eaten breakfast, so I specially bought breakfast for you." Zhao Yingjun burst into tears. What situation is this? Senior sister Lu Wan actually bought breakfast for Li Fan. Heavens, why didn't he buy breakfast for himself? "Why are you up? Don't you want to rest for a while?" Li Fan hurriedly asked. "I can't sleep, I'm afraid you're hungry." Lu Wan pointed at the breakfast. "I specially went to the door to buy you sushi. When Mr. Abe heard it was bought for you, he personally cooked it." Would a senior sister be so good to a junior brother? Wang Ying and the others were guessing, could it be that Li Fan has already conquered Lu Wan? "Thank you senior sister, I will consider your matter." Li Fan's understatement made the people around him seem to understand something. It turned out that Lu Wan asked Li Fan to do something. That's easy to understand. You're the most cunning. Lu Wan lowered her voice. Hurry up and eat something, don't starve. The classroom was very big. If someone was eating, the teacher would not notice. Especially Liao Wushuang, even if she saw him eating, she would not lose her temper. However, Li Fan secretly ate sushi in front of so many people, which made him somewhat embarrassed. Should I feed you? Lu Wan asked. I'll do it myself. Li Fan was afraid of scaring other students, so he hurriedly refused his senior sister's kindness. Li Fan did not dare to speak. He took out his phone, eating sushi while sending a WeChat message to Lu Wan. Does it still hurt? Lu Wan replied with a crying emoji. Everything was said without words. Lu Wan was his first woman. Although he seemed to have done it with imperial concubine Zhou, it was not led by his own consciousness, so it should not be counted. Go back and rest quickly, don't break your body. That's also because you broke it. Lu Wan's words made Li Fan's heart itch again. He looked at the spacious classroom, and then looked at the last row, which was almost empty. Should I do it in this classroom? Chapter 1068. Lu Wan realized Li Fan's intentions and couldn't help but secretly pinch Li Fan. This guy, at this time, he was still thinking of naughty things. It's not convenient right now. Maybe next time. Lu Wan's words left no room for maneuver. Li Fan couldn't help but snicker. It seemed like university life was quite blissful. Yeah, I'm a little tired. Lu Wan gently leaned on Li Fan and closed her eyes. The surrounding people all sucked in a breath of cold air. Lu Wan and Li Fan were too intimate. Many of Lu Wan's personal guards were extremely sad and indignant when they saw this. If it were any other guy who dared to be so close to their goddess, they would definitely be beaten up by them. But this was Li Fan, the president of the Martial Arts Society, the school bully. Who would dare to fight with him? Those who dared to find trouble with him were like lighting a lamp in the toilet, looking for shit. Zhao Yingjun also had tears streaming down his face. It seemed like his dream was finally shattered. Right now, even a fool could see that Lu Wan's heart was already hanging on second brother's body. It was over, everything was over. His ultimate university dream. Shen Chen had confessed to Li Fan, and Lu Wan also liked Li Fan. How could he continue? What kind of reincarnation was second brother? Why did he attract so many girls, and all of them were top-notch beauties? It wasn't fair. God, why did you have to create a person like second brother? How were other men supposed to live like this? If one day I suddenly left, what would you do? I would look for you. Li Fan answered without hesitation. Senior wants to leave. It's not that easy. No matter where you go, I will catch you and bring you back. Li Fan's roguelike answer made Lu Wan very satisfied. She didn't expect this guy to be so good at coaxing girls once he let himself go. If only he was alone. Lu Wan suddenly felt that she was a little greedy. After all, she only had 2 years left. How could she ask for more? It's better to quietly enjoy this short university life. At least for now, it's pretty good. Let me be greedy for a while longer. The morning classes passed quickly. At noon, Li Fan and Lu Wan went to the ramen restaurant at the back door of the school. In terms of chatting, this ramen restaurant was indeed a good place. Abe Say had specially prepared a quiet cubicle for Li Fan. Inside was a pure Japanese tatami. If a geisha were to serve him, Li Fan would feel that he had completely fallen. However, it seemed pretty good to have the islanders serve him. Mr. Abe, you can go ahead with your work. We can handle this by ourselves. Looking at Abe Ching, who personally prepared sashimi for them, Li Fan hurriedly advised. Do you want to talk about something? Alright, I'll leave now. Abe Ching bowed to Li Fan. If there's anything you need, just press this bell and I'll come over immediately. With that, Abe Seiji tactfully backed away from the cubicle. Hey, I still want to eat that volcano hot pot. Shin Chen was a little regretful. There's no more ingredients today. How annoying, you foodie, that's not convenient for us to talk about things. Li Fan couldn't help but laugh. Are you here to eat hot pot or to talk about the management company? Let's talk while eating. Shin Chen giggled. Isn't the Chinese tradition to settle everything at the dining table? Including having children. Li Fan squinted his eyes. You're so naughty. Lu Wan Air gently patted Li Fan's hand. Don't talk nonsense. Shin Chen frowned slightly, feeling that there was something strange between the two of them. Were they already so intimate with each other? For some reason, Shin Chen felt a little unhappy in his heart. Alright, stop messing around. Let's talk about today's key issue. Li Fan pretended to be serious, making the two girls not know whether to laugh or cry. He was obviously the most indecent one. The management company, Shaowan and I talked for a while. I think with Shin Chen's current voice, there should be no problem. After being possessed by the devil, Shin Chen's voice had also recovered. Her voice was indeed unparalleled in the world. As long as she could record a good album and create some positive news about Shin Chen in advance, it would definitely give Shin Chen a second chance. Li Fan told Shin Chen this idea, causing Shin Chen to roll her eyes. Damn, you're the second chance. Exactly, how old is Shin Chen? You're the second chance. Lu Wan Air also scolded Li Fan, you're not reliable at all. How can we rely on you? Alright, it's my fault. Li Fan now liked Lu Wan Air's way of doing things. Whatever she said, he would do. In terms of funds, I can personally come up with 1 million. This is almost all of my savings. You actually have so much savings. Lu Wan Air was a little surprised. Is the escort agency that profitable? This is my personal savings. I haven't calculated the money for the escort agency business. Li Fan asked Lin Yuhsan to help him calculate. Excluding the money I'm going to use to open a martial arts school, the escort agency can provide me with another 10 million. I can't come up with more money. After all, the escort agency's business hasn't been particularly good recently. The two girls were a little speechless. Is this still called having no money? Hey, don't you understand working capital? Li Fan laughed. This is venture capital money. Only projects that make money can be taken out. Moreover, I've said it before, I believe this management company can make money. He could make money and also help Shin Chen and Lu Wan. Why not? More than 10 million. That's enough to set up a simple small company. Lu Wan Air seemed to be better in this area. Shin Chen, you should know a lot of people in the entertainment industry, producers, and the like. As long as we have this network, we can go much smoother. This, Shin Chen curled his lips, this bunch of grandsons, all burning bridges after crossing the river. Now they don't even care about me. I'm afraid this is caused by your usual temper. Li Fan added another strike without hesitation. In this circle, there are many people with bad tempers. Lu Wan Air reminded Li Fan, it's mainly because of Shin Chen's family. Now, what we lack is the problem of connections. Jessica's connections are also good. Shin Chen thought for a moment, then said, she should be able to help. Where is she now? Li Fan asked. Well, she seems to have left her original company, probably looking for a new one. According to her qualifications and connections, it shouldn't be difficult to find. Hire her with a high salary. Li Fan said without hesitation, whether she comes or not, it's the key to whether you can shine again. Whether you can become famous again. Chapter 1069. In the time it took to have a meal, the few of them finalized the matters of the agency. Lu Wan went to handle the company registration. Shin Chen was in charge of hiring Jessica. As for Li Fan, he was just an investor. All he had to do was pay. After the three of them finished talking, they were about to go out when a skinny boy walked in from the opposite direction. He looked very ordinary and short. He bumped his head into Li Fan's chest. He flew out and was caught by Li Fan. I'm sorry, classmate. Are you okay? The boy raised his head and glanced at Li Fan. Then he took out a photo, put on his glasses, and compared it carefully. Are you Li Fan? The boy asked. Yes, you are. Great, I found you. The boy laughed. You can go to hell. Any a monkey. As soon as he finished speaking, a red monkey jumped out from behind him. Li Fan was right. This guy was indeed a monkey. It was about half a meter tall, covered in red hair. Only the tip of its tail and claws were white. The monkey jumped in front of Li Fan in the blink of an eye and slapped Li Fan's chest. Bang! Amidst the exclamations of the two girls, Li Fan was directly sent flying, directly smashing a table in the restaurant. So weak. The boy squatted at the door, holding his chin and looking at Li Fan in confusion. Why did you send me to kill such a weak person? Lu Wan was about to call the police, but the boy smiled at her. Big sister, don't mess around. Although I shouldn't attack ordinary people, I still have the immunity to murder. The boy said those terrifying words, but he smiled innocently, causing Lu Wan, who was looking at him, to be secretly alarmed. This boy looked like he was only 15 or 16 years old, but he could talk about murder so casually. Who was he? Wan, this is my business. Don't interfere. Mr. Abe, please close the door. Li Fan knew that the target was coming for him. Since he had no intention of harming others, that was the best. Friend, don't you think it's a little inappropriate to fight in broad daylight? Li Fan patted the dust off his body and got up. He looked at the boy squatting at the door and asked. How should I put it? Actually, my monkey is a bit impatient. The little boy shrugged his shoulders and put on a cool look. It's not like my dull personality at all. The monkey jumped up again and stepped on the chandelier as if it was swinging. It squeaked and swayed excitedly. Even if you're here to kill me, you should at least report your name first. There were a few shocked diners around them, staring at them in a daze. Some of them came to their senses and took out their phones from their pockets. Li Fan glanced at them and calmly sat on a chair, as if he wasn't surprised at all. The 12 divine generals. The boy took out a special plate and showed it to Li Fan. The plate was carved out of black jade, about the size of half a palm, and he held it in his hand. The black jade was carved with the character monkey in seal script. This is my proof of identity. Do you see it? That monkey is called Enya Monkey. We belong to Huaxia, and we're a weapon of Huaxia. Oh. Li Fan was surprised, but he didn't show it on his face. Then what crime did I commit? Why are you here to kill me? Big brother, the crimes you've committed are too numerous to list. The boy said with a little disdain, it doesn't matter to me. But I have to come because of the task given by my superiors. Enya Monkey, kill him so we can go back early. It's so hot here. It seemed that this guy lived in the capital most of the time. Things seemed to be a little tricky. If so, it seems that I can't escape today. Li Fan stretched out his hands. I surrender. Take me back. Li Fan. Lu Wan was a little anxious. Shin Chen couldn't help but stretch out his hand, as if he was going to use his spiritual power. It's okay. I know what I'm doing. Since it's a government organization, they won't wrong me. Li Fan gave them a comforting smile. I surrender, little friend. The boy was a little stunned, as if he didn't expect Li Fan to have such an option. Any a monkey, he surrendered. He looked up at the monkey helplessly. What should I do? Did the superiors say we can catch him alive? The monkey bounced a few times, then nodded desperately. All right, you managed to keep your life. The boy took off a pair of handcuffs. These are made of special metal. Even an elephant can't break free. Come back with me. Wan please help me apply for a leave from school. Li Fan said, I'll be back in 2 days. Okay. Lu Wan nodded, but there was still some worry in her eyes. What do you need me to do, Li Fan? Although Shin Chen usually liked to bicker with Li Fan, she seemed very serious at this time. She didn't want anything to happen to Li Fan. I have a pot of cactus on the balcony. Those guys in the dormitory are not reliable. You and Wan can take care of it for me. Li Fan said after thinking for a moment. You won't have a chance to come back. The boy reminded him, stay in prison for the rest of your life. Well, I think it's enough for you to die 7 or 8 times for your crimes. Little friend, don't speak so early. I'm not sure whether I'll die or not. Li Fan chuckled and seemed to be full of confidence. You talk too much. Let's go. The little boy grabbed Li Fan and pulled him out of the noodle shop and outside. What car are we going to take? After Li Fan came out, he asked slowly, for a senior government civil servant like you, it must be a Bentley class or above when you go out, right? I only take the extended Bentley, the kind with a refrigerator. Then prepare some red wine for me, Lafitte will do. I don't want the 82-year one, it's too vulgar. I like the 90-year one. You're really carefree. The boy couldn't help but turn his head and look at Li Fan strangely. Aren't you afraid of death? Of course, I'm afraid. Who isn't afraid of death? Li Fan replied without hesitation, but I'm so young, it's still early for me to die. A wonderful life is still waiting for me. How long do you think you can live? The boy curled his lips. I'll send you to the airport in a moment. Soon, I'll send you to the capital and let you receive the trial you deserve there. Chapter 1070. It was a private plane that was responsible for escorting Li Fan. In less than a day, he was sent to the secret airport in the capital and then escorted by a military vehicle directly to a military area in the capital. Setting the base in the military area. As Li Fan walked, he looked at the surrounding environment. There are patrolling soldiers all around, one group after another, well-trained, strictly guarding. Really impressive. You talk a lot. The little boy seemed a little impatient. Li Fan looked at him with a smile. What, you don't allow me to talk? Say it, say it. The little boy was a little depressed. Anyway, you're going to die. You're really considerate. Li Fan did not know whether to thank him or ridicule him. By the way, why is that monkey of yours so powerful? Don't ask me, I don't want to talk to you. The little boy took Li Fan to a white building and seemed to be relieved. Soon, there will be specialized people to deal with you. Really? A man or a woman? You'll see soon. Didn't you say you don't want to talk to me? How could this little boy win against Li Fan? He was soon rendered speechless. Dong, dong, dong. He was almost exasperated as he slammed the door. Hey, such a high-tech place, there's no password door or something? Li Fan asked in surprise. None of your business. The little boy was embarrassed to say that he forgot to bring the keycard. You forgot to bring the keycard again. A girl's voice came out along with the open door. What an idiot. Seeing the girl in front of him, Li Fan was stunned for a moment. Her delicate face, petite figure, looks like she's only 13 or 14 years old. She actually works here. Don't you dare. The little boy said angrily, I'll leave this person to you. You handle it. Ah. The little loli raised her head and carefully looked at Li Fan. You actually caught him alive. Yeah, who am I? The little boy pursed his lips. As a mature big brother, you can just rely on me. Come on, you're only 3 years older than me. The little loli said in disgust, and people who like to pretend to be mature are the most annoying. As she said that, she grabbed the chain that bound Li Fan. Come with me, Mr. Murderer. Yo, my title isn't bad. Li Fan did not resist and followed him in. The young man successfully handed over Li Fan and heaved a sigh of relief. However, he did not leave. Instead, he brought his red-haired monkey and followed behind Li Fan. Little girl, are you one of the 12 heavenly generals? It was a long and stuffy corridor leading to the underground base. Li Fan was bored and couldn't help but ask. Yes, uncle. The little loli wearing a cute little dress reminded Li Fan of Murong AI in the past. However, Murong AI is now a big girl and is no longer the little loli from back then. And the person in front of him has a strange temper. Calling him uncle made Li Fan a little unhappy. Are you 12 heavenly generals arranged according to the zodiac? Li Fan just casually asked. He did not expect the little loli and the young man to be a little surprised. They looked at each other and then the little loli said to Li Fan. How did you know? Damn, it's true. Li Fan couldn't help but want to laugh. I was just casually guessing. Your guess is quite accurate. That's right, we are arranged according to the 12 zodiac. The little loli sighed. This kind of ancient tradition is the most boring. How good would it be if there was a saint from the 12 zodiac? Hey, don't talk nonsense. The young man reminded her, we have the 12 sacred beasts. They are the guardian of China. But who wants a pig? The little loli stamped her feet, and a little white pig walked over from the corner. The little white pig was the size of a teddy bear. It puffed and followed the little loli. Wow, so cute. Li Fan licked his lips, and it looks delicious. Uncle, you have such a strong taste. Hey, don't you like roast suckling pig? Of course not. Eating too much meat will make people stink. I should eat more vegetables. The little girl said while eating the beef jerky in her hand. If you like this pig, I can give it to you. Hey, stop fooling around. Although a pig is a little stupid, it is still an important sacred beast. Do you want to exchange? The little girl looked at her companion. Exchange my second senior brother for your brother monkey? How can I do that? A monkey. He can't leave me. The young man crossed his arms and pretended to be cool. You can be like him and rely on me a little more. I don't need to rely on you. The little girl pulled open the door next to her. We're here. Go in. As she spoke, she pushed Li Fan from behind. No one knew where this girl got the strength from, but she actually pushed Li Fan a few steps and he fell into the house. So violent. Li Fan was pushed onto a chair. After sitting down, he was put on iron cuffs. These are super alloy shackles. The little girl said while fiddling with various instruments of torture. Hey, Hey! You can't do this. The young man hurriedly shouted, "We are not allowed to torture people. What if we kill him?" "Don't worry, I know what I'm doing." The little girl held a chainsaw and said with a smile, "He will definitely live." "Then I really have to thank you." Li Fan was not the least bit afraid. He even winked at the little girl. "Little girl, what's your name?" "Zhang Xinran." The little girl said while starting the chainsaw, "But we, the 12 generals, have long abandoned our names. I only left a code name, 12. 12. That's not bad." Li Fan nodded. "It seems that you are the youngest one here." "Uncle, you are very smart." The little loli nodded. "I'm indeed the youngest one, but I'm the one who has the most fun. Come on, I will take Uncle to heaven." With that, the little girl raised the rotating chainsaw and slowly cut toward Li Fan's hand. "You have to call me nicer." The chainsaw fell on Li Fan's arm, creating golden sparks. But Li Fan's arm was unscathed, as if it was wrapped in a layer of steel. "Ha!" The little girl was a little surprised. The little white pig was also snorting and swaying at her feet. "Strange, are you an android?" Zhang Xinran looked at Li Fan inexplicably. "The chainsaw doesn't work." "Are you a monster?" "You don't seem to be qualified to say that about me." Li Fan smiled. "Don't you have a monster with you?" Chapter 1071. They are not monsters. The little boy immediately reminded Li Fan, "They are the 12 sacred beasts that guard China." "All right, they are indeed monsters." The little loli increased the horsepower of the chainsaw and the motor issued a buzzing sound. "Oh right, he is called number 10, his original name is Luo." "Luo what?" "Radish leg." "Luo Hausen. His name is number 10. The little loli simplified the conversation between them. "All right, you do what you need to do, I will ask my questions." Li Fan watched as the little loli placed the chainsaw on his neck, creating a large amount of golden sparks. "What is the origin of this pig and monkey? They seem quite powerful." "Sacred beast, these are the sacred beasts that have been passed down from generation to generation." As if to prove to the sacred beasts, number 10 repeatedly emphasized, each generation of them will also breed and give birth to the next generation of sacred beasts. It is said that since ancient times, the 12 sacred beasts have been protecting us humans. Therefore, the story of the 12 zodiac was based on them. Sounds awesome. Li Fan could not help but praise. "Then can you give me one? It must be interesting to raise it as a pet." "If you want, I will give you my pig." The little loli kicked the little white pig. "Bastard, don't eat my pants. How many times have I said it? You foodie. This pig is so pitiful." Li Fan could not help but feel distressed, to have such a violent master like you. "Am I violent?" The little loli innocently looked at Li Fan. "I don't think so. Why do I feel that I am very kind?" "Before saying this, put down your chainsaw, the effect will be better, right?" Li Fan asked. "Who knows, but let's continue to play, I haven't had enough fun yet." The little loli found that the chainsaw was not easy to use and could not help but sigh. "Looks like the chainsaw won't work. Is your body really made of copper skin and iron bones?" "That's not it." Li Fan calmly said, "This is the true chi that protects my body. Ordinary chainsaws will not work." "Interesting." The little loli licked her lips. "Then let's play something more exciting." As she spoke, she picked up 2 wires from the side and turned up the power of the electrical box. "Are you crazy?" Number 10 was a little surprised. "If you use this, he will definitely be electrocuted to a crisp. Even elephants can't stand it. He's much more fun than elephants." As the little loli spoke, she connected the 2 electrodes to Li Fan's body. Uncle, I hope we have a good time. Okay, let's be more exciting. Li Fan gave the little loli an encouraging look. I'll make you feel good. The little loli ignored number 10 and pressed the switch. The monkey jumped onto the electric box and watched as the meter on the electric box kept increasing. 2 electrodes were connected to Li Fan's body, and a crazy electric current instantly rushed into his body. The lights above his head flickered. It was indeed a little strange. Li Fan sat there. To him, this thing was no different from a power bank. Li Fan has a move called Rushing Thunder Kick and another move called God Slayer. He could already convert the electric current into a kind of energy and store it in his body. The voltage in the room was messed up, but Li Fan was still calmly sitting there, not affected at all. The little loli bit her finger and looked at the relaxed Li Fan. Even electric shock doesn't work. This guy is a bit strange. Even the little boy number 10 was a little puzzled. If this guy is so strong, why did he surrender to me? This is really strange. It's not exciting enough. Li Fan yawned. Is there anything more exciting, children? Or, let your family's adults do it. Are you looking down on us? Number 10 was a little unhappy. The monkey jumped down from the electric box and climbed onto his back, jumping up and down, seemingly in sync with his mood. Yes. Li Fan said lazily, you see, isn't this the case? I came all the way here, but in the end, it's not fun at all. How dare a prisoner speak such arrogant words? Number 10 stared at Li Fan. When the commander comes, you will behave. Commander. Li Fan felt that he finally got some useful information. It seems that this so-called Department of the 12 Sacred Beasts should be under the direct control of the military. Uncle, don't tell me you want to run away. The little loli couldn't help but ridicule Li Fan. Impossible, you can't escape here. That sounds pretty scary. Li Fan moved his neck in the electric current. I'm hungry, can you two prepare something to eat? I'm not picky when it comes to food. I'll just buy a serving of Yongguofu's mala tang. Don't put any white vegetables in it. Green vegetables, no spinach, no lettuce. Also, don't put rice powder in it. Just put more bean paste and more spicy. Look at the situation, you're still so arrogant. Number 10 slammed the table. I'm not buying it for you. Go hungry. Alright, then I won't bother you too, I'll buy it myself. As Li Fan spoke, he shook his wrist and broke the iron buckle that was fastened on it. Under the dumbfounded gazes of the two, Li Fan stood up and stretched his body. Oh, my body is stiff after sitting on the plane for so long. Give me an electric shock, it'll feel much better. 12. Listen to me, don't work for the government, go out and open an electrotherapy room, I guarantee that your business will be good. You're a monster. Number 10 couldn't close his mouth for a long time, while Lolita was looking at Li Fan with interest, as if she was looking at an interesting prey. What flavor of spicy hot pot would you like? I'll bring it back for you. Li Fan walked to the door and asked. Where are you going? As soon as number 10 came to his senses, he immediately sent the monkey to attack. Any a monkey, catch him. As he spoke, the monkey rushed forward like a meteor, pouncing on Li Fan and slapping Li Fan's cheek. Li Fan moved to the side and reached out to push the monkey. He directly used the force to push the monkey away. 6. Lolita couldn't help but praise, but uncle, our sacred beast won't be defeated so easily. As soon as she said this, the monkey had already stepped on the wall, jumped in front of Li Fan again, and struck again. Li Fan dodged to the side, while the monkey showed off its skills in the room, jumping back and forth, moving at high speed, and attacking Li Fan again and again. Li Fan used the crane's hand to knock away the monkey that pounced on him. Ursa Major Seal. Li Fan suddenly pulled out his palm and slapped the monkey's body, imprinting the monkey into the wall. Chapter 1072. Your sacred beast can't do it either. Li Fan withdrew his palm. It can't even take one hit. Any a monkey. Open the seal. The young man seemed to be a little angry. He immediately scolded. The red-haired monkey suddenly roared. Its feathers seemed to be burning, a dazzling fiery red. The monkey's body also began to expand. Soon, it grew to the size of a normal man, about 1.6 or 1.7 meters tall. Its body was covered in fiery red fur, and it wore a black fire cloud armor. It held a golden iron staff in its hand. Holy crap, it's a great sage. Li Fan could not help but want to give it a thumbs up when he saw its appearance. On the monkey's head, a strand of red hair was burning, giving people a sense of awe. This is the true form of a sacred beast. Number 10 crossed his arms and leaned against the wall. He looked at Li Fan proudly. Prepare to bear the wrath of a sacred beast. Li Fan was indeed a little shocked. This monkey could transform. No wonder it was called a sacred beast. How awesome! Any a monkey. Take him down. Number 10 ordered. The monkey squeaked twice, then suddenly picked up its staff and jumped towards Li Fan. It really had the demeanor of the legendary Monkey King. Li Fan looked at the Monkey King. In the blink of an eye, the monkey had jumped in front of him with its staff. At the same time, the staff in its hand smashed down on Li Fan's head, creating a gust of wind. Li Fan raised his right hand to block. Clang! The staff hit Li Fan's arm and was blocked. However, his body sank, and his knees pressed against the ground, creating a pit. Such great strength! Li Fan could not help but exclaim, it seems that there are still many things I don't understand about China. Still talking so much nonsense. Any a monkey, make him quiet. The fiery monkey waved its weapon and attacked Li Fan repeatedly. Li Fan roughly analyzed its strength. In terms of strength, it was at least at the peak of perfection, possibly at the pinnacle level. This kind of master was rare even in the martial arts world. If it was the 12 holy beasts, it meant that there were at least 12 such great experts here. It was really a pretty good combat power. It's just a monkey. Don't be too presumptuous. As Li Fan spoke, he found a gap in the monkey's defense and pressed down with his palm. Following that, he used the Ape King cannon on the monkey's body. Boom! The monkey was sent flying, instantly smashing through the wall behind it and smashing into the corridor outside. Monkey's body was embedded in the wall outside, and the flame on its head was a little dim. How should I put this? Don't look down on us martial artists. Li Fan put down his palm and looked at monkey outside the door. Otherwise, you will suffer. Any a monkey. Adjust your stance and use Flaming Tornado. Number 10 gave the order, using his voice to control the monkey to attack. With Number 10's command, the monkey obviously had an order. It pulled out its body and waved its stick. Its whole body began to spin. The stick was covered in flames and began to burn fiercely. It really looked like a flaming tornado was spinning towards Li Fan. Li Fan took a few steps back and dodged the flaming tornado. Keep spinning and force him into a corner. Number 10 continued to give the order. The tornado continued to roll, forcing Li Fan into a corner of the room. Not a bad tactic. Li Fan nodded. But it's not enough. As he spoke, he found an opening and suddenly stretched out his hands. Clap! He grabbed the stick, and the monkey's rotation stopped. The flame whirlwind stopped abruptly in front of Li Fan. Damn, no way. Number 10 was dumbfounded. How could he block this move? This Li Fan was really a monster. Cold sweat dripped down Number 10's forehead. He remembered that if Li Fan really attacked him in City G, he would have killed him before any a monkey. Any a monkey, flame burst and keep attacking. Although Number 10 was a little scared, this was not the time to be afraid. He had to take down Li Fan quickly. He gave the order. The stick burst into flames and shook off Li Fan's hand. Then, the monkey waved its flaming stick and attacked Li Fan repeatedly. It waved the flaming stick in an orderly manner, attacking Li Fan one after another. The monkey's stick moved faster and heavier. Even Li Fan found it difficult to completely block it. His crane hand was knocked back several times, and his palm was still a little numb. This monkey was really something. Number 10, what are you looking at? Come help me. Number 10 shouted at the little girl who was watching the fun. Hey, isn't your monkey quite powerful? Does eldest senior brother still need my help? Hold on tight. You won't be able to explain yourself if he escapes. Number 10 reminded the little girl, Zhang Xinran. Hurry up. I'm coming. What are you rushing me for? The little loli sighed, you men are so impatient. Little fat pig, go help him. The little white pig grunted and then took a few steps on the spot. Then, it started running and bumped into the monkey's foot. The monkey was knocked to the ground. It could be seen how strong the little white pig was. What are you doing? Number 10 was annoyed. You can't blame me. He's a stupid pig. The little girl spread her hands and scolded her sacred beast. Go help that monkey, stupid pig. Grunt. Grunt. The little white pig seemed happy after being scolded by its owner. It shook its butt and bumped into Li Fan. Li Fan blocked the monkey's attack and raised his leg, sending the little white pig flying. Enough. Li Fan had already tested monkey's depth. He suddenly turned around and used beating the tiger, sending monkey flying with a palm before he could make a move. At the same time, he gave the little white pig another kick, sending it into the little girl's embrace. The two sacred beast guardians were defeated just like that, but Number 10 was still unconvinced. Release the seal. Number 12. I don't want it. The little girl curled her lips. It's so ugly after releasing the seal. I don't want it. Number 10 was speechless. Are the two of you done playing? Li Fan sat back on the chair and looked at the two of them. I'm sick of playing. If you don't find your adults, I'll really go eat. Since you're already here, why are you in such a hurry? Don't be impatient. A middle-aged man in military uniform walked in. When the two sacred beast guardians saw him, they immediately saluted him. General, General. Li Fan crossed his legs and looked at the middle-aged man in front of him. He's only middle-aged, but he's already a general. Let me introduce myself. I'm the leader of the 12 heavenly generals. Chapter 1073. I am the leader of the 12 heavenly generals. The middle-aged man made a simple self-introduction. Number 10, you are in charge of finding someone to repair the room. Number 12, bring your pig and come with us. He invited Li Fan, how about it? Do you want to visit our base? Aren't you going to capture me? Why are you inviting me so warmly? Li Fan asked with a hint of sarcasm. If you weren't fearless, you wouldn't have taken the initiative to come to my place. The general was very casual. He extended his hand towards Li Fan. Mr. Li, please. I feel that you are also quite fearless. Li Fan returned the words to the general. 12 heavenly generals, this is the first time I have heard of them. They seem quite powerful. You will know when you see them. Please. The general seemed to have a good temper. He invited Li Fan again. The general is ordering you. What are you dawdling for? Number 10 shouted at Li Fan, get up. Li Fan originally wanted to follow them to take a look. But when he heard this kid's words, he was a little unwilling. Number 10, this is none of your business. Hurry up and leave. The discipline here is not very good. Li Fan frowned, your subordinates should be trained more. My apologies, Mr. Li. My discipline is not strict enough. General, why are you being polite with this criminal? Number 10 was very confused, can't you just give him a quick death? I told you to find someone to repair the house. Little Lolita glared at her companion, is there something wrong with your brain? Hey, hey, hey. I worked hard to capture Li Fan. Go and repair the house. Number 10 had no choice but to obediently go and find a repairman. Mr. Li, this way please. The general led Li Fan through the corridor, entered the elevator, and arrived at the underground facility of this military building. This underground facility was even larger. There were laboratories everywhere, and no one knew what kind of secret experiments were being carried out. Mr. Li, this is the most authorized laboratory in China. Without a 5-star authorization, no one can enter. Oh, does that mean that I won't be able to get out after seeing it? Li Fan raised his eyebrows. That's not the way to put it. Whether or not we can get out depends on whether Mr. Li cooperates. After taking Li Fan for a spin, the general finally got down to business. What can I do? I'm a warrior. Li Fan smiled. Haven't you guys already started the holy war? Are you still going to leave a way out for us martial artists? From the moment he heard about the holy war, Li Fan already knew that this day would come. It was just that he didn't expect this day to come so soon. Fortunately, he had already prepared an escape route for himself. After he had investigated the matters here, he would directly flee to a faraway place and flee to the Li family island. You, of course, have a way out. The general gave him a meaningful look. You're the sword of the emperor, the guardian of China. Why would we lay our hands on you? Li Fan's face turned gloomy. He wasn't sure about this matter, and Wang Luo also guaranteed that no one else knew about it. I won't stand on your side. Li Fan reminded. As a member of the martial arts world, I can't just sit back and watch the crisis of the martial arts world. I know. Besides the sword of the emperor, you also have the identity of a gold medal escort. The general nodded. It's true that we have to eliminate the martial artists, but this is not the task given to us by the top. Our task is to subdue you, little overlord Li Fan. Oh. Isn't it to judge me? You have indeed committed some crimes, but the sword of the emperor is unique. The general said without hesitation. Don't worry, it's absolutely safe here. We can speak freely. The lowly squatted at the door, feeding the little white pig ham sausage. At this time, they were sitting in a very quiet room with no one to disturb them. Lord Wang Luo should have told you that there have always been two factions in China's political system. One is the hawk, and the other is the dove. The one who advocates eradicating the martial arts world is the dove. As for us, the hawk has always advocated cultivating China's armed forces to defend China. This isn't the first time I've been invited by the Chinese government. Li Fan immediately said, once upon a time, the Special Abilities Bureau also recruited me. But needless to say, they still have to rely on me to support them now. Thank you for your contribution to China, and I also apologize for the grievances you've suffered. The general took out a pack of golden leaves. Li Fan glanced at it. It was different from ordinary golden leaves and seemed to be specially provided. The general took out a stick and handed it to Li Fan. I don't smoke. How can a man not smoke? The general chuckled, picked up a stick, and lit it for himself. Smoking is equivalent to relieving stress. Martial artists train their essence, energy, and spirit. Smoking will affect our body and affect our breathing. The power of breathing is the foundation of a martial artist's internal cultivation. Secondhand smoke is more harmful. The general smoked happily. Instead of waiting for others to harm you, it's better to let yourself do it first. What are you thinking? I can't agree with you. Li Fan shook his head. When it came to smoking, he would never give in. All right then. The general did not insist. It's good that you can insist on your own point of view at such a young age. All right, let's go back and talk about our business. What's there to talk about? Didn't you send a monkey to kill me? That's right. The general did not quibble. He was sent to kill you because if you can't even beat him, then you're not worthy of being the sword of China. What you said makes sense. Should I thank you for your appreciation? You have to understand that it's not me who appreciates you, but Wang Luo, the previous generation's sword of China. The general emphasized, I just want to test if the person he chose is qualified. I never said I'm the Shangfang sword. Li Fan snorted coldly. Li Fan, the Shangfang sword is your only way out, and also the only way out of China. The general's face was a little gloomy. If you don't become the Shangfang sword, then I'm afraid China will be doomed eternally. That exaggerated. Yes, it's that exaggerated. The general was undoubtedly the representative of the Hawks. Betraying your country for glory will not end well. Tell me what you think. Li Fan was not in a hurry to refute. He crossed his arms. If there were benefits, he would try to fight for it. No matter which dynasty it is, China has always had hawks. The same goes for the 12 sacred beasts. They have been protecting China since ancient times. And the Shangfang sword is the best among us. Chapter 1074. Wang Luo is dead. Li Fan still announced the news, Shangfang no longer exists. We know he's dead. The general took out his phone and showed the screen. A golden sign appeared on it. The sign had the 2 words Li Fan printed on it. Li Fan felt a little strange. What is this? Every generation of Shangfang will write down the name of the next generation before they die. It's like a will, you know. I have my considerations. After all, Wang Luo used his last life to exchange for important information. Li Fan was famous for being amenable to coaxing but not coercion. He really fell for Wang Luo's trick. The Shangfang sword is the last guardian of China. The general emphasized, if there's no Shangfang, China's gate will not be stable. Moreover, Shangfang leads the 12 sacred beasts. If you're not here, they will be without a leader. What does it have to do with me? I'm already very disappointed. Don't you want to stop the holy war? The general continued to ask, if you become Shangfang, you can get our support and save the entire pugilistic world. Aren't you guys worried about the pugilistic world? Li Fan could not help but ask, this is a force that is not controlled by the government. After so many years, the pugilistic world has always existed. But look at them, when have they ever achieved anything great? The general laughed, they are only martial artists after all. Not just anyone can sit on it. The general pointed upwards. I'm different from those cowards. To them, the pugilistic world cannot be controlled, so it must be destroyed. But I think the pugilistic world can be controlled. How? Li Fan continued to ask. This is all for later. Let's talk about something more practical. What you need to protect is the pugilistic world. And what I need to protect is our position. No matter what, our interests are the same. Li Fan thought for a moment. This general's words seemed to make sense. His current position was very awkward. The reason why he came here was because he wanted to get lucky and negotiate with the higher-ups. Now, everything was going according to his wishes. But it was a little too smooth, making Li Fan a little uncomfortable. Li Fan knew this very well. I can see that you still have doubts. The general comforted Li Fan, don't you worry. The title of Shangfang Sword is your best protective talisman. Our current goals and interests are the same. The underworld cannot fall. It is a special line of defense for Huaxia. Those idiots of the Dove faction actually thought that he had used a good plan to kill two birds with one stone. You can get rid of the world of martial arts in exchange for friendship with America. What a joke. There's nothing wrong with their way of thinking. The Jianghu is indeed a double-edged sword. Do you know why our Great West is so poor? Do you know why we are still defending it and why we are determined not to cede it? Isn't it because of the rich mineral resources? Of course that's one of the reasons, but it's just one of them. Every inch of Huaxia's land belongs to us. Everyone can fight among themselves, but they can't give it to the foreigners. In addition, these two places are our natural lines of defense. Look at the position of the imperial capital. Without them as a buffer, wouldn't the foreign armed forces be able to march straight in and aim for our heart? The general's words did make sense. Moreover, the people of Huaxia loved infighting. However, if there were foreign invaders, no matter how fierce the infighting was, they would first put aside their disputes and unite to defeat the enemy before talking about their own matters. You have cooperated with us a few times. You should know that those foreigners have been eyeing us covetously. Li Fan, let's cooperate. We will naturally offer our sincerity. What sincerity? Li Fan felt that the main point was coming. 12. The general gave the order. Got it. The lowly pressed a button, and the wall beside them suddenly opened. It turned out that there was a hidden room inside. The room wasn't big, and there was a glass container inside. A naked woman floated quietly inside, as if she was asleep. This woman didn't look old, around 14 or 15 years old. Her body hadn't matured yet. The only difference between her and ordinary people was that there was a pair of horns on her head. These seemed to be dragon horns. Dragon lady. Li Fan was a little shocked. Is that possible? She is indeed a dragon lady. She is older than all of us. The general confirmed Li Fan's thoughts. She is the most special of the 12 sacred beasts. She doesn't have a breeder. She is one of the 12 generals. She is clearly an old lady. Why does she have a lowly face? The lowly looked at this woman and couldn't help but feel jealous. She is really annoying. Is there really a dragon lady? I'm not sure about that. The general shrugged. China is so big that there are all kinds of strange things. The 12 sacred beasts have always been the most mysterious secret. Their existence has always been beyond common sense. This dragon lady's existence is probably the same. With that, the general walked to the control panel and operated a few times. The liquid in the glass container was being drained bit by bit. The dragon lady has been the instructor of the Shangfang sword for generations. She will guide you on how to become a qualified Shangfang sword. Moreover, she will protect your life. As long as you are willing, she can even sacrifice her own life for you. When each generation's Shangfang sword is about to die of old age, she will sleep and wait for the next Shangfang sword to be born. So, is she waiting for me? That will depend on her. The general said as his gaze fell on the dragon lady, if she doesn't choose you, you won't be able to become an Shangfang's sword. So what you say doesn't count. You don't have to mock me. The general was very calm, I am not the president. How can I have the final say? The general seemed to realize something and quickly added, besides, what the president says doesn't count. The country belongs to the people. The people have the most right to decide. All right, whatever you say. Li Fan didn't want to say anything else. He was now a little expectant. Would this dragon lady wake up? However, was it okay to not wear anything? Even if she didn't have a chest, she was still a young girl's body. It was still very eye-catching. The rest is up to her. The general also stood on the side, waiting for the final result. The two of them seemed to have reached a tacit understanding. Whether their cooperation could succeed or not depended on the dragon lady. Li Fan stood in front of the container. The little loli was also watching from the side. The little white pig was huffing and puffing. It was unknown if it was begging for food or watching the show. Li Fan stood there for a long time, but the dragon lady didn't seem to have any intention of waking up. Looks like it won't work. The little loli laughed and picked up the chainsaw, let me dissect him. Wait. Just when Li Fan was a little disappointed, the general suddenly shouted, you're tuning in to the LoveLore Library YouTube channel. We're so grateful for your support and don't forget to subscribe to join us on this incredible journey through captivating stories. Your generosity through donations truly makes a world of difference, as it's the primary source of revenue that allows me to expand and enhance this channel for you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for being a part of this adventure.